And YouTube. We'll see. I'm just seeing if YouTube's going to pop to life or not. If not, I'll have to sort that out for next time. Oh, no, we're
Mm,
live on both. Ah, sweet.
Okay, nice, Hector.
We're
Nice
breaking
one, man.
new ground. We're live on both Rumble and YouTube. So I've got both
Sweet,
the
man.
chats open as well. Hello, everyone, and hello, good sirs. Welcome to episode 5 of Endeavour News. First time live on both YouTube and Rumble. We're going up in the world. I'm Hector, and I'm here with my co-host, Gilbert.
G'day, my friends and family. Welcome, come one all, to listen to our epic podcast.
Yeah, hope you enjoy it. Hope you enjoy it. So this week, it's a week till the election. The election's basically next Saturday. On that note, we will be doing a live stream of the election. So starting at 7 p.m. next week, we'll start a live stream and probably go for a couple hours, take call-ins, and we'll see the results as they roll in, starting 7, maybe 6:30. So that should be good. This week, however, we're going to just go over the policies of all the parties that are currently in Parliament and a few of the other parties that are vying to be in Parliament. We're starting off from basically who got the most votes last election. So we're going to go Labour, National Act, Green, NZ First, Maori, and then the ones that aren't in Parliament, which is, Freedoms, Loyal, Democracy, Opportunities Party, and New Conservatives. There's some other parties, but we don't have time for all of them. So those are the
Mm,
ones we're going over.
mm, mm. Yep, sounds good. Sounds pretty epic. Let's do it.
Should be epic, mate. Should be epic indeed. Let me just make
So
sure
share
everything's
those
linked.
links if you can, and
Yep.
spread them around with other people. Give us a leg up, and yeah, let's get something going here.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me just check the output that the stream's actually good. Just making sure. Oh no, my stream's sort of fricked up. How do I fix this? I'm using
It's
a new
alright.
OBS, so I don't know how to make this window bigger.
Mm, mm. Okay, do you want me to post something in the Endeavour News?
Whoops. I sort of messed it up because it's in like a black box.
Okay, I'll just type experiencing difficult. Oh no, maybe
I
that's
mean, you
not
can see it. I mean, if you look at the live stream, the stream covers most of the output, but I don't know how to get it to cover the whole output, so we might have to fix that for next time. Don't know what's going on there.
it. Yeah, sorry everybody.
Yeah, sorry
Oh
about
wait.
that. You might just have to deal with the black lines. I didn't notice it before, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how to fix that. It's sort of annoying.
Mm, mm,
Uh,
that's all right. Yeah. Yeah, I'll just give a
Sorry about that.
commentary while you look into that if
Whoa.
you'd like, Hector. So I mean, yeah, it's just check the news early this morning, and it seems
The hell?
like New Zealand First may be taking precedence in the election. They seem to be doing probably a bit better than usual. Apparently, they're at polling at 6.9%,
Yeah, nearly
and
7. I saw that as well.
yeah. So that's perhaps we are seeing a current going more towards the right wing finally in New Zealand. I mean, I know we're not all enthusiastic about NZ First. I'm a bit iffy on them myself. I mean, I don't know. Part of me kind of likes in the midst of such strife and leftist and liberal strife and turmoil governing most of NZ for the past couple of decades. I can see how it would have been hard for uh, ostensibly a right wing party like New Zealand First to exist in the sort of molasses of left wing nonsense and
Yeah.
chaos. But so I do, me, I kind of I do like Winston Peters, but a lot of people that opinion doesn't get maybe far with a lot of the right wing people that I know. But I don't know. I just personally can't help but like him a bit, and I can imagine that would have been a very that is a very difficult
Oh, I
task
fixed it.
to.
I think I
Oh,
fixed it.
okay. Oh,
For
very
some
awesome.
reason, there's a slider on an OBS, this new OBS I downloaded. Let me
Yeah,
just check
they've
that's
got
fixed.
they've got like weird
I don't know.
sliders and things like click how many helicopters are
I
in this
just
box,
personally
Yeah.
and
can't help
it's
but like
so
him a
that's
bit.
what it is. Thanks
Oh,
for
I
being so
fixed. Sweet.
patient,
Yeah, I
everybody.
did fix it. I just checked. All right. Sorry
Mm,
about that. That's bizarre, but we got it. All right. So we'll get into it. I fixed the output. So we're going over the parties, like I said. We'll start with Labour because they got the most votes and the most seats last election. One thing you'll notice with Labour, despite them being, the currently biggest party, when you look at their policies, there's only one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. For a major party, that is tiny.
mm. Yeah, I guess they just maybe wanted to get a simple message across, or yeah, I don't really know why that is, why they would do that, but yeah, maybe they just wanted it simple for people to understand. Maybe they understand that a lot of their voting base is not the most uh,
Literate?
voracious readers, let's
Yeah.
say. So maybe they tried
Oh,
to chunk
yeah. I
it down.
mean, you'd be sort of hard pressed to get some of these cuzzies reading more than a sentence, so it's sort of tough.
Yeah, well, seeing as though a lot of their supporters will be like visa, well, actually, well, who knows? You know, maybe they will get people to vote like they did in the Biden election. I think I heard Winston Peters on Twitter complaining about that. Actually, that there's some even now, early days, there's some tampering going on with like election offices or voting booths being shut down. Um, oh, here we go. Cool. I see that. But yeah, that maybe that's something we can look at later
Yeah,
because
yeah. I mean,
that's an interesting development if they are actually like looking at places that are, say, popular for NZ first voters or freedoms NZ voters, then yeah, that would be something to look into. But anyway, yeah, sorry, we're on Labour.
yeah, so we'll get to those later, but Labour, yeah, they've got a very minimal policy page. It says creating a stronger economy, and then it's just a bunch of nonsense how they're going to support infrastructure, skills, and science. Not really
Mm,
much there. Fix the cost of
mm,
living. So it's like,
mm,
good luck with that if you're not tackling migration. So,
mm,
so
mm, mm,
you want to keep migration going, but tackle the cost of living. It's like impossible. I was talking about
mm,
like like lifting the minimum wage, and I don't know.
mm.
That's about
Which
it.
it's just a superfluous kind of surface level thing to say. It's just basically like a veil, like, oh, we're gonna lift the minimum wage, we're gonna reduce taxes. It's all this,
Yeah, they want to remove GST off fruit and veggies, but it's like that will save maybe, I don't
couple
know, a
bucks.
couple bucks a month.
Yeah.
Like that's about it. Like maybe $10 a month because it's 15%, and if you spend
Mm,
whatever, you spend $100 on veggies in a month, you're saving $10 a month. So
mm. Yeah, it's all the silly stuff that really gives you a feeling like they look at us like the plebeians or something, you know.
yeah,
It's
I,
but yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I'm putting it out there. I'm not against reducing GST. I do believe GST in this country is way too high, but it's like that's sort of not going to cut it if you're going to want to
Mm,
try fight inflation by reducing taxes. While also
mm,
they plan to increase like fuel tax, so you
mm,
sort of just
mm.
cancelled out your tax decrease there.
Yeah, it's really neither here nor there in terms of actually lifting our incomes up. Yeah. Mm,
So then they've also got fixing the housing crisis. I mean, Labor's been promising this for, I don't know, a decade.
mm,
They've been in
mm,
power for 6 years and not much has really happened there.
yeah.
Kiwi
I mean
Build
that.
was a massive failure, so
Mm,
it's
mm, mm,
unfortunate.
yeah, because people really do need housing, right? And it's a
Well,
lot of overcramping.
Well, because of
Yeah.
the Ponzi scheme of mass migration, which I'm sure will be coming to a lot, it doesn't matter how many houses you build if you just keep importing more people than there are houses. Like New
Mm,
Zealand has something like 5% of the working population in some sort of construction trade role. And that's
hmm,
massive. That's like way more
mm,
than the OECD average. So we're already
mm,
building more houses like per capita than most countries, most first world countries. But because we just
mm,
keep importing more people, there's never going to be enough housing. So it just
mm.
keeps going up. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah. So it's yeah, a very kind of schizophrenic policy that we have here, amongst other parties as well. Yeah. What is our direction? It's basically just it doesn't really matter. It's just to appease the social engineers or the elites. Keep the wages down seems to be the main ball game for them. And
Yeah.
we'll just build cheap houses with Chinese ingredients, and that'll will look like we're doing something.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Also, I guess one thing Labor did do good last term or this term, whatever, with New Zealand First was ban the foreign buyers. So at least that was
Mm.
something, but it's like, come on, you need to do more. And there's still
Well,
loopholes for that as well.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, BlackRock already controls like Jacinda and
Yeah,
all these, and probably the whole party. And China is still, exudes massive influence over. I mean, probably more influence than we really know. So, I mean, it's all like, well, again, it's like a bit more, it's airy fairy stuff, isn't it? But yeah, I guess that's a good thing. If we can continue pushing parties in that direction, that would be great. So, so,
yeah,
so it is a good development. I don't want to sound cynical, but yeah.
yeah. So I guess
Keep it going.
that's sort of a step in the right direction, but you have to go much further, and I don't think Labor's going to go much further.
No, no,
uh,
no. Yeah, they've made their position quite clear that they're all like gay trannies who
yeah,
want to
yeah,
transsexualize everything. So yeah.
yeah. You got some climate change sort of agenda nonsense, zero carbon act, blah blah blah, banning of offshore oil drilling.
Mm.
Stuff that could have actually made the country a bit of money, sort of like Norway, but
Yeah.
I guess not. They're just going to raise
Yeah.
taxes instead.
Nope. Yeah. Exactly. And if it was about Maui's or Hector's dolphin, they could there's ways that they could yeah, there are things they can do to mitigate the harm or
Well,
or help the
it's
dolphin. Yeah. Go ahead.
I think it's more trolling that's a bigger issue to fish the dolphins than like oil drilling. I mean, it doesn't take that much resources to set up an oil rig. So
No.
lots of countries do it. Like Norway does it, Scotland does it. It doesn't impact the local environment that much.
No, yeah, actually, yeah, you're right about that. It's just the climate change hysteria that they're
Yeah,
trying to
exactly.
build up, and it's like, well, yeah, that a lot of that is not actually real, and yeah, I mean, just plant more trees and have tree houses. We need to start building tree houses to solve the climate change and the housing problem. There you
Okay,
go.
this one's sort of funny. They say they want to keep communities safe while crime under their watch is at like, decades level highs. So,
Yeah. Yeah. It sort of like reminds me of the Biden administration has started building the wall up, Trump's
yeah.
wall
Oh,
on the
well, no,
border.
actually here it is right here. The definition of keeping communities safe is just taking everyone's guns away. So there you go, mission
Oh,
accomplished.
sweet. Mission accomplished. That'll definitely man, they really I swear Jacinda Ardern is part of the mongrel mob. She's she's like the
Yeah.
boss of the orcs or
Well,
something.
I mean, also I will add to this. In the first term of New Zealand First, Labor did actually bring in more police officers than they've been in decades, but then also they changed the judges. Like they made the judges more like libtards and be like, okay, you can't send anyone to jail, especially if they marry. So that's why
Yeah.
even though we have more cops than ever, they
Mm.
just keep letting them out. They arrest them and then it's like catch and release.
Yeah.
But for like the mongrel mob,
Another yeah, another compromise, another thing that's really neither here nor there. If you increase the mass of police, but change the judges,
yeah,
then
change
it's
the
just
like rules of like sending people to jail and there's thresholds and
yeah,
whatnot. So then barely anyone goes to prison unless like you literally murder someone. So
yeah.
it's sort of crazy. So you increase the amount of police officers and then change the judges so that they never go to jail anyway. So they just keep getting arrested and then released.
Yeah, crazy, huh? And
Yeah.
it is actually they're trying to make it like the U.S. or like Europe, and how they're being so soft on crime and just trying to like
Mm.
crime proliferate basically. So it's
Yeah, a lot
yeah,
of cities in America go like, oh, we're not going to arrest anyone unless they like, I don't know, like steal more than
stab.
$10,000 or stab someone. I don't know. It's sort of
Yeah,
bizarre.
yeah, yeah.
So you got
Like
like
what?
roaming like ning nongs that are roaming around in these cities, like just looting stores in broad daylight, and the police won't do anything because they're not allowed to by the local councils and the state government.
Yeah, yeah. And so they're trying to do the same thing here. I think. I mean, it's just so
It sort of is,
ridiculous.
yeah.
Like,
It's just a
put
soft on crime, never arrest them and then never actually punish them.
yeah. So really, like in terms of the labor, what labor is saying, we've gone over these points very quickly, and that's all the time it really needs. Really, we're kind of getting nothing. The middle class, the average normal
Oh,
Kiwis are
we save
yeah.
$10 a month on veggies.
Yeah,
That's it.
there you go, bro. But New Zealanders, they'll like have a pie and like sausage rolls every day. It's like what? Who even eats veggies in this country? No, I'm joking. I'm joking. That we're pretty healthy here in New Zealand.
Yeah, make sure to
But
eat your broccoli.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're gonna say yeah. It's yeah, silly. Mm,
Are we going loyal NZ or freedoms NZ, boys? Says Woda in chat. We'll get to that actually. It's one of
mm,
some of the parties we mean to go over. So then Labor is look at here right here, working with Maori. So yeah, they're basically co-governance here. So they want to make a Maori Health Authority, 3 waters or 10 waters, whatever the heck it's called now. All this like
yeah.
partnership stuff. It just means yeah, they're pro co-governance like explicitly.
Mm. Yeah, pro Maoris taking over, or really pro.
Like
Uh, uh,
unelected Maori bureaucrats that just get tons and tons of taxpayer money as like a big grift.
yeah, basically, yeah, because they have a sacred relationship with water, maybe a sacred relationship with fire water. You know, they have a spiritual relationship. They definitely have a relationship with with spirits. Spirits in a bottle. But I don't know if even then it's like it's not really. Yeah, I mean, it's just silly. Like, why should this community have so much power over such a vital resource and actually over the governance of the whole country?
Yeah,
So there's something more, something else is afoot with this. This is not. I don't think it stops there with the Maori. There's something more that is happening.
yeah.
Um,
Well,
that's
just to give you an overview of the Labour Party, their policies is basically they don't have any. Like their policies is reducing the
status quo.
GST on veggie, just the absolute status quo. They have come up with
Yeah,
nothing. It's sort of bizarre. I'm actually
yeah.
sort of shocked at how simple this is and how much even what's there is just a bunch of
Yeah.
nothing.
You'd think they would yeah, you'd think they would at least like try to
Yeah, they're
try
not
to
even
punch back.
trying.
And yeah, I mean, talk about a two-party dialectic. Like, this is
Like this is your Overton window. Imagine if you had a two party system still. It's like these are your policies, Goyam. That's it.
yeah, pretty much, yeah. I mean, who reads that and gets excited over this? Like, oh
This
yeah, we're back, baby. Like, we're making a comeback. It's
yeah. No, this
it's
is honestly probably the most boring nothing policy list I've ever seen in my life. It's sort of amazing.
yeah, it's not exceptional at all. There's nothing exciting or
It's
interest. It's like
exceptionally like boring, and that's about it.
yeah,
Well, it's not even
basically.
just boring. It's like a black hole. It's a void. There's nothing here.
Yeah. What assurance are they guaranteeing New Zealanders that
Yeah.
we're gonna make significant changes to make your life to make it way better? And
And there's nothing
there's
here.
nothing. Yeah, it's working in partnership with Maori. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it's
okay.
10% off your veggies. Yeah, it's all crap. It's
Yeah.
crap. Yeah.
All right. Well,
So.
that's Labour. Very lackluster there. I'm sort of shocked. We have greatest ally Israel in chat says vegan gains won. It's true. He ate a lot of
Yeah,
broccoli and
maybe
won.
he's a part of the Labour Party.
Wouldn't be surprised. All right, should we move to national?
Yeah,
So,
let's do it.
in a complete opposite, national has like a million policies, probably too much. They probably need to be a bit more concise, to be
Mm.
fair.
Mm,
So they've
mm,
got a big million policy page of rebuilding the economy. We'll go into
mm,
some of these. 100-day action plan, that sounds pretty interesting. Rebuilding the economy, dealing with inflation. I'll just pull up some key ones. Oh, biotech, bring that one
mm,
up.
mm, mm, mm.
Housing growth. What else? Tech sector,
Tech sector, yeah.
EV, why not?
Okay. Mm,
Police, I guess that's a good one.
mm,
And education.
mm. How does free
Healthcare.
breast cancer? What does breast cancer have to do?
Free
Oh
breast
yeah,
cancer.
yeah. Improving our school. Like, I'm pretty sure they're.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
schools
I
and
don't know.
healthcare. I don't know why that's together. You'd
Oh,
think
oh,
the
healthcare. Oh, I missed that. Sorry. Yeah, helping more Kiwis fight cancer. Yeah.
yeah, I'll bring up those ones. So, in a complete turnaround, National has a bajillion policies where they probably could have
Mm,
been slightly more concise,
mm,
to be
mm,
fair.
mm, yeah, yeah.
So, to give you the quick rundown, Kiwis are struggling and the economy is damaged. This is because this has seen costs outstrip wages, fuel, rent, food, and rents and mortgages skyrocket. I sort of messed that sentence up or whatever. Creating a cost of living crisis. Crime has increased. And the government spent an extra 200 and wait, not 200, 28,000 per household a year, but this money is being wasted on bureaucrats, consultants, and ideological projects. I mean, that's all true,
Mm, mm,
to be
mm.
fair.
Mm, mm.
The New Zealand economy is struggling. Cost of living continues to rise faster than wages. Mortgages are unaffordable. National will rebuild the economy, get it working for all New Zealanders.
Doubt it.
So you can already tell, like, at least National has a lot more energy in
Yeah,
their
yeah,
policy statements compared to just like the complete void and black hole, which was Labour's one.
yeah, yeah. Like it's sort of like yeah, they got like an energetic person writing
I don't.
this
I'm
as
just.
compared
I
to
still can't believe that Labour Party page. That's nuts. But anyways,
yeah,
we'll move
yeah.
on. We've sort of went over Labour.
Mm,
So at least this is at least has
mm,
some energy in it.
mm,
Um,
mm.
so th- so yeah, they've got a bajillion policies. So we'll go over some of the key ones that I just sort of saw. 100-day action plan. So this is what the National Party will supposedly do in the first 100 days. Yeah, 100 days in power.
All right.
Remove the
That,
oil and fuel tax. Okay, that's actually pretty good. That does need to be removed.
mm.
Remove the Reserve Bank's dual mandate and get the bank focused on putting the lid on inflation.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what they'll actually do about that, though, is another thing that's probably just end up, we won't print as much money or something.
Yeah,
But
no, that'll
I
be
don't.
it. Well, I did
That
basically
mm,
quantitative easing in the last government, but it's quantitative easing at like an interest rate. So they just borrow money and have to pay it back instead of, forcing the bank to give you interest-free loans, which is like what my policy would be.
mm. Yeah,
And
yeah,
Labor has done
basically.
it. The first Labor government did force the Reserve Bank to give them interest-free loans. So it's been done before, and it can happen
Mm,
again. And it will happen again. God
and it
damn
will
it.
happen.
All
Will
right.
happen.
All right. Repeal Three Waters. I mean, that's already sort of happening. Bunch of stuff. Ban gang patches and stop gangs in public. I mean, that's all fine. These are all good. Give police greater powers to search gang members for firearms. I mean, yeah. I mean, half of this stuff is just like common sense.
Mm, mm.
Uh,
What if I want to
Crack
wear
down
my
on
Blood
youth
Tribe
offending.
Ohio gang patch? That kind of sucks. Damn it.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
sucks, mate.
yeah. And I was sure Christopher Luxon was a part of.
Well, he's got the
He
haircut
probably.
for it.
Yeah. Just needs the Nordic tattoos or whatever. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Encourage more virtual participation in court proceedings. I don't even know what that means. Does that mean like do more Zoom calls for court meetings or something?
Yeah,
That's a
basically.
weird policy.
Play more Candy
Yeah.
Crush with your coworkers.
I don't know. So I mean that's all fine and dandy. You can sort of tell that National's priorities they're big, ticket
Mm,
items are tough on crime, obviously, because that's like what half of this is about.
mm,
And
mm,
then slightly reduce taxes, as we said before. So good stuff, but not really that exciting, to be fair.
mm,
I mean,
mm,
half of this stuff about crime is just like common sense and shouldn't even really be an issue in like
mm,
a society that actually functioned properly.
mm,
So,
mm. Yeah, well, and they're not really taking it far enough and really saying what they will do to actually like stop crime, for instance. But
yeah.
yeah, that's
All right.
yeah, so it's a bit
Oh, crap. I stopped sharing my screen with you. Sorry, I'll do
that's
that.
all
I'll
right.
get that back.
Yep, sweet as, yeah. So
Uh,
yeah, okay, here we go.
So, this
Who's
is
this lady, by the way? I don't
Nicola
know who.
Willis. I think it's their financial spokesperson.
Okay, cool.
So this is the plan to save the New Zealand economy, stop wasteful spending, tax relief, and encourage hard work to ease the cost of living. So yes, slight tax decreases. I think their tax decrease is like I put in my income. I think it was about $20 a week. So like it's a little bit, but it's not really that much.
$20 a week is nothing.
There's not really much to write
That's
home about.
no, that's nothing
Oh,
at
you can get a
all.
box of EBs, bro.
Yeah, yeah. You could buy like a pasta at one of these restaurants,
Yeah,
a bowl of pasta,
I could
like,
buy some
yeah.
frozen mac and cheese with my $20. But anyways. Cutting red tape was like, what does that even mean? Building infrastructure for roads and public transport, renewable energy. Okay. Growing
Mm,
skills and attracting talent. So this, look here, attracting talent to address productivity.
mm,
That's
mm,
that's coded words for their pro mass migration. They want to
mm,
let anyone that wants to come here in so they can boost productivity or boost the GDP.
mm,
While, as we all know, by the basic laws of basic like economics, the more amount of people you have in a labor pool, the more wages get suppressed.
mm. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so yeah, you
Mm,
got coded policy here for mass. We want more migration and
mm,
strengthen
mm.
connections to the world and support trade and investment. That seems sus as well. It's
Mm,
like more
mm,
investment from like China or BlackRock. It's like
mm, mm.
both pretty big red flags on those last two there.
Strengthening connections to the World Economic Forum, more like it. Yeah, and
Yeah,
supporting trade and investments.
WEF,
So that's
China.
like foreign investment coming back, basically, is what they mean.
Yeah,
And yeah, getting like masses of people into New Zealand, regardless of where they're from.
yeah.
And yeah, it's actually like from reading this, obviously they just say this broad stuff without actually saying how they're gonna go about it, go into detail about what they're
Yeah, they're
actually
sort of
gonna do.
semi-sneaky about it. They're not that sneaky. I mean, they're not lying,
Mm,
but the language
mm.
they use is semi-coded.
Yeah, it's coded and it's just sort of also like, oh, we're just gonna, we'll just reduce taxes and we'll reduce spending and we'll attract talent. It's like it's
Yeah.
coded and it's these broad sort of superfluous, it could mean anything statements really. So but of course those who are more discerning understand that there is a code to this. And I get a real sort of like Blade Runner cyberpunk feel actually from reading this, like just like, yeah, like we're gonna do all this stuff with elite businesses and corporations and just swamp you with people and not really give you people anything or not nothing that you'll be able to discern, at least, and well, nothing that will ever do about it. So
So yeah,
yeah,
it's sort of sus. Like Nationals, so remember, this is the rebuilding the economy page. So Nationals' plan to rebuild the economy is mass migration and like foreign BlackRock, China, WEF money.
that's the one. That's
Yeah,
their ticket.
it's
Yeah.
like
Oh,
it's
shot, guys.
yeah, Archer, buddy.
Yeah, oh, shot Luxon,
Oh,
cheer
but I get
Cola
to
Wolf.
save $20 a week. Cheer, Mamoni.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you open your drawers and there's an Indian hiding in there. Would you?
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Would you like to buy my curry? No. Yeah.
All right.
About the
So
20-day
that's
investment plan. Mm,
that's pretty bad. That's like a really bad notch in the National Party
mm,
coffin. I sort of messed up that metaphor, but whatever.
mm. No, I think we know what you mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, we
Oh
get it.
crap!
Mm.
If I close the tab, it stops sharing the screen with you. I have to like.
That's all right. You just bring it back up. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
sorry
all good.
about that. So
No
dealing
worries.
with inflation, we might have to cut this short, but dealing with inflation, focus the Reserve Bank back on price stability. I mean, yeah, that's all fine and dandy. I mean, like I said, ideally the Reserve Bank should just be giving the government interest-free loans like it did back in the 40s. So that'll be
Mm,
pretty epic. And then you could use that money to actually invest in infrastructure and stuff like Nationals even like they're actually talking about instead of just borrowing money either from the Federal Reserve or from BlackRock or from wherever, just having to pay
mm,
it back with interest. And in the
mm,
all with foreign ownership. So
mm,
yeah, let's not do that. I mean, well,
mm.
I mean, yeah, getting the Reserve Bank to price stability, that's fine, but the
But
Reserve
that
Bank needs much greater reform to actually be something useful.
Yeah, they just say these things, and it's like, okay, how are you actually going to do that? And we know they're not actually going to do
Yeah.
anything. Yeah, that's
Uh, what do they got here? National restore interest deductibility from rental properties. So this is sort of stuff like negative gearing. Yeah. So this is sort of stuff that would increase house prices basically. So that's sort of bad.
mm, mm,
Uh, some crap about jobs tax, a bunch of nonsense. Withdrawal from the fair pay agreement legislation. I think that's like the 90 days stuff. So they get rid of the trial periods, so the 90-day trial periods for small businesses or medium-sized businesses, whatever it is.
mm,
Whatever.
mm,
Doesn't really affect me. Won't affect most people.
mm, mm, mm.
Reduce bottlenecks. So something about reducing welfare. It's like, yeah, all good. Income relief. We talked about that. You'll get an extra $20 if you're lucky. Restoring discipline in government. You know what that means. Better
Yeah,
public
well,
services.
well, I mean, Labor did kind of just like spend oh, vaccines. We'll buy billions of vaccines, and we'll buy we'll buy like more Marais for Maori. Just I don't
Yeah,
think that
wasteful. There's
actually
a lot of
happened.
wasteful spending with Labour, like a ridiculous amount.
Yeah, it's nothing like where's how does this come back for us? But yeah, I mean, so that's good. I would actually like that, be
Yeah,
more
so would
fiscally
I.
conservative. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, do we have confidence that they'll do that? Maybe to a degree, but just like the tax
I doubt
situation,
it. I doubt they're going to do much about it.
Yeah, bare minimum maybe, but probably not even that, to be honest. Yeah, maybe it'll be. Let's say this: it'll be marginally better
Yeah,
than Labour,
slightly.
if it is better
It'll
at
be
all.
like Labor's policy from 2017 instead of their 2020 policy. So that's basically what National's government spending will be.
Mm,
It'll be like a
mm,
1% decrease, if that. I bet
mm.
you.
Yeah.
But anyways, we might just do this last one from National. We sort of get
This
the
is an
point.
important one, so everybody listen to
Do you want to
this.
read this one because I've been reading the other ones?
Yeah, sure. No worries. So this is another national policy. It is harnessing biotech. So that's like Pfizer's biotech. So it is time for New Zealand to responsibly and safely open up access to the benefits of gene technology. Biotechnology has the potential to deliver enormous benefits for New Zealand, from combating climate change and making advances in health science to lifting agricultural productivity and boosting exports. So, I'll continue. Breakthroughs in scientific techniques like gene editing and gene modification are being used around the world to make progress towards solving major health, economic, and environmental challenges. But because of New Zealand's outdated biotechnology rules, we are being left behind, putting our climate goals at risk while depriving Kiwis of significant health benefits in healthcare, environmental protection, and economic growth. So yeah, this is this is basically just completely insane. I'm actually very proud of New Zealand in that they're one of the few countries that doesn't allow
The GMO,
GMO
yeah.
or gene editing, which is proven to be harmful. The mice and the rats that eat GMO foods end up growing huge tumors,
Yeah,
and they end up growing hair inside of their internal
like stomach
organs,
and stuff,
basically.
yeah.
Yeah, so it is nasty stuff, and unfortunately, Americans are consuming a lot of this stuff. It is very bad. So basically,
Just look at
they
the
are
state of the average American. It's tough.
and there is a huge cancer and all kinds of weird problems over there. So a lot of, especially in our kind of right wing circles, like Lena Locktiff and Heinrich Palmgreen, they encourage people to just go fully organic. Even there's a problem there. You've really got to make sure over there that your food is organic. But in any case, so from that. Those paragraphs I read, guys, they basically want to open Pandora's box in terms of gene editing and GMO. This is actually a very terrible, tragic thing, and it's like, can I just say this, Hector? Just give me a sec. Um, if like earlier we stressed, buying local, buying from trusted farmers. And local supermarkets and community gardens or whatever. I would, as it looks like National will get in, and as we know they are driving the Davos 2030 agenda forward, and BlackRock and Vanguard's agenda, I would strongly urge that you guys separate your business activities from, the main chains, and go more local, because you are going to be eating food that is actually good for your health and not harmful. So this is a very serious thing. Shall I keep reading this, Hector?
I think we sort of get the point. So,
Yeah, yeah. But this, you guys can go and read their page on biotech. But yeah, this is actually quite a scary one.
yeah,
This
see,
is
look,
quite
it says right
freaky.
there they want to end the ban on GME. And it seems to just GE and GM. It seems
Yeah,
like this
yeah.
just came out of nowhere as well. I was like,
It's weird. Yeah, they're opening up the floodgates. They want the mRNA industry, which is happening in I believe there's a facility, a scientific facility in, I think it's Timaru, where that they want to begin, mRNA, like milk and dairy and food and stuff like that. And so that they want to get this industry moving and put their sort of their tinkering fingers into your food, into the livestock, into everything, and gene edit it into something that, well, God knows what they're going to do. And that's the scary thing. Can we trust these people? No, we can't. I mean, look at how many incidents there have been with a particular gene modification therapy that is in a
Yeah, we're
vial.
live on we're live on YouTube, remember?
Yeah, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, yeah. They get the. I think people get that though. What I'm trying to
Yeah.
say. So yeah, it's So as it looks like National's going to get in, guys, I really strongly encourage your red pill your family on GMO and genetically modified food and stuff, and what it does to mice and to people and stuff. And yeah, go local, guys. Get organic food, and there are tons of places all over New Zealand, and it might be a little bit more expensive, but it's
It's not that
really
much more expensive.
yeah, exactly. It's not that much more. And you're helping to build this parallel economy which will combat the globalists and the Zionists and these big powers. So we all need to make this transition. They're trying to make their transition, their transition. We're trying to make our based and epic red pilled transition away from them into something great. I already see it happening all over the world, and
It's
so
happening.
yeah, I
Yeah.
really encourage you guys to do that. Make sure your food is clean and make sure you get it from trusted sources.
All right, I guess we'll move on. Next
Mm,
party down the list. We'll go to ACT. See what
mm,
they're up
mm,
to. So
mm,
they're sort of like copied of some of these from National. So regulations, where should we go? That one, I guess. Tax burden. So
mm,
again, they want to decrease wasteful spending. That's fair enough. Government spending's increased by 70%. So massive number.
mm,
Massive
mm,
number.
mm.
I think at
Yeah.
least the ACT party actually does want to reduce spending, unlike National, that will like reduce it by like half a percentage point and be like, yep, mission accomplished.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, well, hopefully they can actually push something through. But then again, it like comes to the question of can we trust Seymour and the ACT Party?
He's more
I mean,
trustable. I'd say Seymour's more, you trust him more than
yeah,
Luxon, but that's not really saying
true.
much.
Yeah, true, true. Yeah, I mean, it's a hope on any of these people is really a bit of a fool's errand. But yeah, I mean, hopefully, but yeah, yeah. I mean, definitely something needs to be in the works in terms of stopping things being so expensive. Basically.
Well, I mean, if you reduce government spending, you can reduce taxation easily, and then
Mm,
you can increase the amount of money that goes into people's pockets. Because in New Zealand, we are overtaxed, like ridiculously.
yeah, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
So this is ACT's policy: reduce public services to 2017 levels, get rid of demographic industries and corporate welfare. I mean, yeah, all good stuff on paper.
Mm,
Um,
mm,
yeah, that's all fine and dandy. I can't really disagree with that. So ACT's good there.
mm,
Law and
mm,
order. So ACT also doesn't have that much policies, but that sort of makes more sense for ACT because they're going to be a like coalition partner, unlike Labor,
mm,
which is going to be the leader, and they've got like 8 policies, while ACT has like 10. But at least ACT's
mm,
a coalition, so anything they don't have policies on, they'll just give to National, which sort of
mm,
makes
mm,
sense. So yeah,
mm,
they've got a similar crime policy to National. You know, bring back 3 strikes. National says the same thing. Set the IRD on gangs. So okay, fair enough. Oh,
mm,
whoops.
mm.
Yeah, sorry about
That's
that.
okay. That's all right.
Wait, I'll just
Yeah.
share my screen with you.
Mm. Oh, thank you. Yeah,
Uh,
it's mm.
so yeah, electronic bail, focus on rehabilitating illiterate prisoners. Shit, we gotta teach you.
Shit.
Shit, I'm gonna learn how to read. Shit.
Fuck. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Like,
That's sort of funny.
is it like if they're not going to read, then it'd probably be better just to send them to like a rock sort of harvesting camp or whatever.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, just get them to do something practical. You know how they used to make license plates?
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
manual work like that. Yeah, but
I think they
yeah.
still do to a degree, but not as much.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean,
What
sort of basic stuff here.
That's interesting. The
Yeah.
same way they got Al Capone. So that I believe they got Al Capone by it wasn't through his crimes, but they got him through like tax event.
Oh, you there? I think I lost you. Oh no, we lost Gil. Did we lose Gil or is my internet disconnected? I don't know. No, my internet works. We lost Gil. Oh, you're back.
Yeah,
Don't
I'm
know.
back. So
Don't know
keep
what
going.
happened there.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, they got him through, well, because he ran his money through like a business, right? So he had to launder his money. So they got him that way because he wasn't laundering his money properly. So they
Mm.
arrested him for tax evasion. So this is Acts. Share this tab. Oh no, I'm already sharing that with you. So here, Act is saying they want to end co-governance. All good. Get rid of the Maori Health Authority. Get rid of Three
Mhm.
Waters. Get rid of all the, Maori unelected Maori positions in regional councils.
Mm.
All that sort of
Mm.
stuff. Bring it into like the Maori just keep bringing new claims with the treaty. Be like, hey yo, this
Mm.
man, you owe me $6 million.
Gives me that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So, ending race-based policies, ending co-governance.
Mm.
Fair enough
That's good. I hope that he actually pushes for that when he does the coalition with Maori. So
with Maori.
with national the
Yeah.
Maori, yeah, with
Oh, chunga
yeah.
Māori.
Don't think he'll be doing coalition with Mary,
That'd be pretty.
but yeah, it's just like in primary school, like, oh, bro, give me your pie, give me your coke, at the tuck shop or whatever. It's the same thing they're doing in government, but give me your lunch money, G.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's more positive, seeing that they're actually against co-governance and three waters and all this sort of, quite frankly, Maori supremacy that's happening right now. So that's a good thing, and I hope he kicks that forward and he's genuine about that.
So, so this is Act's solution to making the economy affordable. Get rid of wasteful government spending. Yeah, fair enough. And then relief and cut taxes. I mean, yeah, that's all fine and dandy. I mean,
Mm,
fair enough.
mm,
I don't know how much they want to reduce taxes by. I
yeah,
don't, I
I
don't know
think
if they
it's
say.
yeah. Well, yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
good if they said. Maybe they don't want to say anything because they know that national will
Yeah,
have
that,
the
yeah,
bulk of the,
yeah.
yeah. So they don't want to. They want to say that, yeah, we'll do it, but we can't promise anything.
Yeah, I'm noticing that the ACT Party's policies are very lean. There's not like, I mean, some of it's all right, but a lot of the stuff here is like they talk about stuff and there's not actually that much there.
Mm,
It's sort of funny.
yeah, that is. Yeah, maybe they just want to be kind of tentative in how they approach these, what they can actually do. I'm not
So
really sure.
yeah, reduce red tape. Fair enough. I
Mm,
mean, that's sort of that one. Rule. So what do they want to do? Get rid of the Net Carbon Act, dump Three Waters. Yeah, fair
mm,
enough. Sweet.
mm.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I agree with that. That's a good
Get rid
thing.
of the Ute tax. So yeah, the what is it? The affordable.
Oh yeah, that's
The
silly.
well, I actually got a rebate because my car's a hybrid, so I actually got money from the government for when I
That's
bought my
cute.
car. So,
That's pretty funny.
well, if I get rid of it, I won't mind because I've already got my hybrid car and I got my clean car rebate. But if you have a car that pollutes in like quotes, then you have to pay a tax. So
Yeah,
get rid of
that's
that. I've
yeah.
already got my money, so fair enough. Oh no, here's their tax relief. So tax relief. Okay, this is really small.
mm,
Clear 5 tax rates of income for the next 3 years. Uh, okay, what's the tax rates? Where are the
yeah,
tax
yeah,
rates?
yeah, yeah.
They
What
say they
what do
want to
we?
bring the tax rates down.
Mm, mm,
Oh, they
mm,
want to get rid of the 5 and bring 3 in, but they don't actually. Why do they not just post them here? It seems sort of weird. Well,
I
that's
don't
pretty much
know.
it for ACT. Their ACT is nearly as lean as the Labour Party, but at least this time it sort of makes sense because they're not going to be in charge of the coalition.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's.
Unfortunately, I don't think there's anything about stuff like free speech and stuff, which is sort of surprising. Like free
Mm,
speech, firearms laws, which is the stuff ACT's talked about in the past, but I don't think
mm,
they have this time. Yeah, I don't
mm,
know. ACT
mm.
seems very sort of watered down this election. I don't know if that's by design or what.
Yeah, if they've made it a degree with Willis and Lux, and who knows
Yeah,
what's on behind the scenes there, but
maybe
it's a
yeah, maybe they're sort of coming to agreements with the National Party and all the policies they put out, so that I don't know. Seems
yeah.
it's very lean from ACT, which is sort of surprising.
I mean, Luxon will be for three waters and co-governance and all this kind of. Well, actually, did they say? I think Nationals said they'd be against that, but Oh, did they? I can't actually remember.
They
Sorry.
didn't really say if they're against co-governance, but they've come out and said they're against free waters. I don't think they ever said they're against like the
Yeah,
unelected Maori positions on like local councils and
yeah.
the 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 non-stop treaty grift that happens with all these like iwis and whatnot. They haven't come out against that, while ACT has.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. Who really knows?
Yeah,
It's any's. Yeah, it's
very
anyone's guess.
a very sort of watered down ACT party this year, which I think is somewhat by design
Yeah, yeah. It's likely that that they've made some agreements or something. So
with
ACT has
national. Yeah.
watered their position down. So.
I mean, we sort of haven't gone into it, but ACT has actually been going down in the polls in the last couple of weeks. They used to be sitting at about 14%. Now they're only sitting at 9. Maybe this is part of the reason why, because they're just so watered down this year. Who
Mm,
knows?
mm, yeah,
Well,
yeah,
that's it for ACT. That's where we pretty much covered their whole policy list, and it wasn't that much there.
yeah.
So I guess we'll
Yeah.
move on to the Greens.
Let's move
Oh,
on.
shit, my body.
Oh.
We're going forward to the Greens.
Let's see what the grades are all about. They're pretty much the weed part. Oh, great.
Yeah, I
They
know.
have very square faces, don't they? They look like Roblox. They look
They
like
do.
Roblox
They
people,
do.
like
They look like
Legos.
Roblox Legos. That
Yeah,
other guy
they
actually just
look.
looks like the default Roblox like face.
What's going on there? Yeah,
That's sort of
they should have
funny.
used some Photoshop, or it's a bit eerie. But
Yeah,
anyway, that's great. The green. If you
yeah.
vote green, you've got a Roblox face.
Free Roblox dollars for that'll be a pretty good policy. Free Roblox, but like, mate. All right. So let's see what Greens are up to. Probably a bunch of nonsense, but we'll figure it out.
mm,
Again, not too many policies here. They've got a
mm,
grand total of 9 policies. Very lean
mm.
again.
Yeah, well, climate safe communities, that can be, that's
Healthy
quite a
ocean.
weighted term. That could mean like a lot of different things. I mean, really, we know that like climate safe communities and clean power payment. Well, mainly that one.
Yeah. Oh,
It's like, oh, we'll go into this one first. Okay.
yeah. This is sort of the order that it was displayed. But so
Mm,
healthy oceans. I mean, yeah, sure. Yeah, we all want healthy oceans. That's fair enough.
mm.
What does they actually want to do to protect 30% of? They use a libtard term of Aotearoa instead of actually New
Oh,
Zealand.
for goodness sakes.
So I mean that's all fine and dandy. Yeah, turn 30% of the waters into national park or something, protected water. I mean I'm sort of agree with that to be fair.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I mean, why can't we protect all the
but then it's
water?
like, oh, it has to be consistent with the Trio to Waitangi. Oh, Trio Maori.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, why can't we just have good ecosystem
Yeah.
management? Yeah. Um.
Create an oceans commission. I mean, more government bloat. I mean, I don't see why you can't really just have this within the existing like environmental ministry. So like more
Mm,
bloat from the government. Yeah,
or
I mean, that's
yeah.
sort of like you have one good thing here, and then it's like a bunch of liberal nonsense. It's like, oh, it's Aotearoa. Oh, we need to get it with the Treaty of Waitangi, my Māori. Make sure we all get a fair share of the KFC, bro.
Yeah. Oh, fish here, the fish and chips, the kaimawanaji, or otherwise we'll smash you. Fuck.
Yeah, so
We'll
I
s-
mean, they start off with something good, then they just put a bunch of like libtard nonsense on it. That's pretty par for the course with Greens, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see this on pretty much every one of their policies. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I don't even think we do any deep sea mining. Do we? Hector, do you know about that?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, overfishing. I'm not sure
I
if.
mean, yeah,
I don't-
fair enough. You don't want to overfish. Fair
mm.
enough. But then, yeah, they go, oh, we have to do the Waitangi Treaty, bro.
What's this in the 3% of? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's yeah, I know there's more to this. They want to do more stuff like obviously they're for three waters and co-governance,
yeah,
and obviously they actually do want to restrict, like the Maori Party. They want to restrict like your access to parks and
yeah.
hunting and fishing spaces and lakes, because they're like taonga and they're sacred to Maoris, and it's
Oh, this
only.
rock is my cousin. It's actually got his soul in it. It's got my cousins in this rock, bro.
Oh, my auntie, she touched this rock once and she spoke to it. So, yeah, it's, yeah, that's more like an Aboriginal thing, I think.
Yeah, true.
They like talk to rocks and bugs and shit. But,
We
yeah,
got
sorry.
a chat. He says, "Good to see you guys again. Thanks for the show." He says, "Cringy mussy."
Oh, thanks,
Cheers, buddy.
Crunchy Musty. Thanks, man. Yep, we're happy to have you with us, man.
And then on the YouTube chat, we've got Dodgy Duster. He says NZ Wave New Zealand, so he must be from America.
Oh, cool. Hey, Mr. American, how are you doing, man?
Good to see you here, Dodgy Duster.
Mm,
Yeah, so anyways, we'll continue. I mean, does anything much more need to be said about that? Makes sort of like, oh yeah, sweet, sounds good on paper, then it's like a bunch of nonsense about the treaty. Like,
mm,
okay.
yeah, it's this very
Climate
zany
safe
wallpaper.
communities.
Yeah, okay. Now this will be interesting because this is actually something that they use as a pretext to say we're going to put you in a small Roblox cube, where obviously Shaw and Marion Davidson have already spent some time in the cube because they're looking very cuboidal themselves. But in any case, I can't get over that. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, why'd
But
you point that out? They both look like Roblox characters. It's pretty funny. But so this is the climate safe communities, put people's first, not cars. So like the anti-car agenda. The street
yeah,
will be
there we
lined
go.
with trees and streams. Green spaces will provide a place to relax and protect from flooding. I mean, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Mm, mm,
Climate
mm,
friendly travel. So again, anti-car stuff and I don't know,
mm.
free dental services for some reason. I don't know what that has to do with the don't know what that
Yeah,
has to do with the
yeah.
climate, but okay.
Is that like free dental services on the buses and trains?
Maybe.
Or on or on a safe walk. That's pretty cool, I guess.
So
Yeah.
So yeah, this is basically just like anti-car. Like that's basically
Mm.
what this policy is like cars are bad, okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's like you're not allowed to drive a car, Goyim. We know what's best for you, Goyim.
Yeah.
Don't stop polluting. Yeah, so it's just like again, and that's like the main sort of thing how they bring about these 15-minute cities, about even 5-minute cities, is through um, restricting your access to move and go places. And this is admitted. Hamilton. They want to bring this. I think they're already going about it now, and in many other places, they're trying to implement this idea. And I mean, you look at all these places, they're like making these really compact buildings that are just squished together and just yeah, it's not good. And these places are often like hotbeds of crime and
Oh, I mean
and
they
it's
nearly
just
always
cheap.
are.
Mm. Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah, they just attract because you're it's just incentivizing cheap sort of living spaces, so all the poor people come in and well you get what's happening there, right?
Yeah, yeah.
People, yeah, especially with this influx of people into Auckland, you get Gisbornites and other ruffians. No offense to all my Gisbornites that are out there, but yeah. But yeah, I mean, so this is what it is. It's they talk about oh, we just want to keep you safe and keep the climate nice and cool or whatever. But really, I mean, what does that look like for us? How does that change it? How does that affect our lives? And yeah, this all this they're going right to electrify everything, right to restricting your access to move about New Zealand freely at your own will, and yeah, just drastically changing how you live and take basically instead of taking your rights away through the law, they're outright trying to yeah change stuff around us. I mean, they're doing both through the law and through actually trying to imprison us all. So
Yeah.
yeah. Mm,
So this is another one, clean power payment. So apparently they were going to pay you to put a solar panel on your roof or something.
mm,
Oh no,
mm.
it's like here, the upgrade double glazing. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it'll be good because actually in Germany they had in the early 1900s, I'd say they had like housing rules to what quality they wanted the housing to be, so that they wanted it to the material to
Yeah,
be a
yeah.
certain way and for it to be warm and to have certain standards so it wouldn't leak and get mold and stuff. I actually think that's a good idea, but I mean,
Yeah, well, it
yeah.
says here you get up to $6,000 to put. I mean, solar panels are sort of a bit of a meme, but it's like, I mean, I don't know, 'cause the government paying you to double insulate your windows. It's like, oh, whatever, fair enough.
Mm,
I'll put in like
yeah.
new pink bats or whatever they. in the wall. Like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, get our Filipino scaffolders to put a double glazing in. Yeah, pink
Oh,
batten.
whoa,
Mm.
hold up. I just realized they have interest-free loans. Whoa, that's sort of a bit of a
Whoa,
red pill.
huh? That's but all this is just going to be so costly. It's it's a bit of a red pill. Yeah, I mean, I wonder how that's actually going to play. Maybe they can do it. They're already happy buying millions of vaccines and other reckless spending, so maybe they could
Well,
actually
it
do
depends if it's
something like that.
actually interest-free or they say it's interest-free while the government's just paying the interest payments instead of you, instead of like a true
Yeah,
interest-free loan.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. So who really knows with these people? They can pretty much make any shit up. So
So is it really
yeah.
interest-free or is it just the government's paying the interest instead of you?
Mm,
So
mm,
that's not really interest-free. So, I
mm,
mean, this is all right, but,
mm,
not really
mm.
a game changer, sort of a minor policy. Oh, the
I like
manif
how even their policies kind of reflect like that they're in Minecraft. It's like very
the building the
like
walls.
like if you think of like Minecraft characters, that this is everything like that they'd try and do. But yeah, it looks like they've been playing too much Minecraft. But anyway.
So this is their manifesto. Over the last 6 years, we've taken more action on climate change than any previous government in 3 decades combined. Secured the biggest ever boost to funding to protect native plants and animals. I mean, that's all right. I mean, not the climate change stuff, but protecting the animals, that's all good. Delivered
Mm.
New Zealand's first ever plan to eliminate family violence and sexual violence. So good luck.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know how you're going to do that when they don't want to put
yeah,
anyone in prison for, like
yeah,
beating up their missus.
yeah,
Oh, my
yeah,
mum,
yeah.
she took my KFC, bro. I had to give her a smack.
Oh, the French won a rugby game. Come here, come here, son. Let me. Yeah, geez, that's terrible.
Rainbow issues, that's pretty cringe. Alcohol regulation, seabed mining. I don't even, oh, okay, I don't think there was any seabed mining. Electoral
Hmm.
reform. I don't know what electoral reform happened, but okay.
Hmm. Hmm. I don't know. I don't
Uh,
know about that.
yeah, so basically they want to do more gay shit. Where is it? Rainbow issues, alcohol regulation, and electoral reform. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you just stick to like saving the animals and paying for to upgrade my windows? Like, that seems a bit better.
Yeah, what are rainbow issues as well? That's yeah, well, they literally gay shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm, mm,
All right. I mean, that sort of was a bit of nothing. Pledge
mm,
to renters, they want to make housing affordable. Again, this is impossible unless you stop mass migration. So,
mm.
empty pledges, really.
Yeah, should we just move on for these people? Like, it's kind of
Yeah.
like a whole lot of nothing, but there's more of it. So, like, I
Yeah, I
kind of
mean, I'll just
feel
show you
like
some of the other ones. Sure, ending poverty. It's like, yeah, good luck. What the heck is this? What's a honey wakamamai?
I know Hoki is a fish.
Oh, yeah.
Fenua's family
The
and
fish
my, so
family.
it's
Oh, I need some fish and chips for me
that's,
family, boy. Oh,
that's a
bro.
fish.
I need some fish and chips.
A fish and chip. It's hey, isn't that Russian Cyrillic on the Marai there? It
Oh, it
look
looks like it, eh?
kind of looks like it. Maybe she's actually a Russian agent. I
Well,
think
there
she's
you
working
go.
with Putin. She kind of looks like Putin standing there. She looks like she's in like World War II Russian military garb, and
Yeah, she's
she's
wearing a Stalinist coat or something. I don't know what's
yeah.
going on there. She's wearing Stalin's coat.
It looks no, you know what? You know the photo of Stalin when like he slowly gets rid of all the
Yeah.
people in the photo. It looks like that's when she's just killed everyone off.
Yeah, there
She's
used to be like
assassinated
James Shaw. There was like
Chloe Swarsbrick and
Strawbrick were in
yeah,
here.
and she's just killed them off. Yeah, I said no white men. All of them are evil. Now it's just her and the party. They're all because she assassinated them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Well, that's grains for you.
yeah, that's our green Tsar, Merriman Davidson. Marinara? Pasta Davidson? Whatever.
Marinara. Yeah,
Yeah.
marinara. Marinara sauce Davison.
I like that. There we go. Well, she talked about hokey fish fillet family, so she's obviously up with the seafood, the kaimawana and stuff, so that's good.
All
Yeah.
right. So we've done those sort of the other major parties. Now we're going to go to New Zealand first. They're not in Parliament, but they're polling at about 7% right now. So they're polling like fairly decently, to be fair.
Mm, mm.
So
Yeah, no,
high chance they'll be in Parliament. So we'll go over New Zealand first next.
this is a shift sign that things are shifting to the right. Although I thought, I get, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I won't commit to anything just yet, but yeah, let's
So
see what they've got to offer.
New Zealand first, I mean, they start off, they've got a big page about policies, so fair enough. I mean, more than what the Labor Party wrote.
Mm, mm.
So their five key plans are defending freedom and democracy, tackling cost of living, providing opportunity for education and infrastructure, getting tough on crime, so sort of the same as National and ACT, and
Mm.
improving the lives of our seniors. I mean, well, it's New Zealand first, so of course.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Makes
Of our
sense.
boomers.
Got to protect
Mm.
our boomers, buddy.
Yeah, it's sort of like it's not that we're run by the Jews, we're actually run by the boomers here in New
It's
Zealand. And
tough.
yeah, look at how the boomer recoils in shock as he goes,
As he's
I've been
called out.
found out.
Yeah.
It's like you apply the same quote to boomers and it makes total sense here in New Zealand. So, anyway, sorry, let's go.
So defending democracy, they want to name it New Zealand, not Aotearoa New Zealand. So yeah, that's pretty based.
Mm,
Legislate
yeah,
English to be the primary official language of New Zealand. Yeah, that's pretty epic.
sweet. Um,
All crown entities are required to communicate in English instead of specifically related to Maori. Yeah, fair enough.
mm. What's separatism?
Co-governance type things.
Right. Yeah, that
So
thought so. Yeah.
withdrawing from the UN Declaration of Indigenous Peoples' Rights. That's actually pretty
That
epic.
that's awesome. That is actually, yeah, undrip. Cool. That's really good. I'm pleased to see because the UN is like, yeah, well, you know about the UN. It's one of these globalist agents
Yeah.
that's ruining stuff for us. So yeah, we're
Defend,
feeding.
yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Protecting free speech and opposing hate speech legislation. That's good, and it's
Sweet.
surprising. I said before, it's surprising. ACT never said that on their policies. It's bizarre.
Makes you really makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
ACT has talked about this in the past, but for some reason, it's not on their policies now. It's bizarre, really.
Yeah, especially after since it's basically confirmed they're going with national now, so really makes you
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Amend the Building Act requires something about public sector. Unisex bathrooms.
Oh.
Yeah, so getting rid of unisex bathrooms in the public sector. So I guess there won't be like trannies going into women's bathrooms.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make it sure that only biological women can play in women's sports. Yep, makes sense.
I kind of don't want that, but I prefer
You
for
don't want
men.
that.
Yeah, I want to play in women's sports, so I can just own up, so I can just dominate. That would be fun. But yeah, I mean, should women be playing sports? I don't know.
I mean, it's
But
sort of a like philosophical question, but there's been women athletes since since the Olympics. There was women's events.
yeah, I guess. Yeah, yeah. Look, I'm not gonna stick a flag in this issue just yet. So yeah, yeah. Whatever. I understand. I'm not gonna be edge lord here. Anyway, let's go. Let's go. Now this is
So,
good.
ending all vaccine mandates and do a fully independent inquiry into the COVID-19 response. Didn't hear that from ACT or National, so
Yeah, nobody. I like how they say all vaccine mandates operating in some organizations and medical
yeah, so end the rest of
facilities.
them.
That's key because there is stuff that is going on right now that is actually against um, really against the law and what they intend to use it for. Do we have? I mean, we pretty much do have our own biolabs here in New Zealand that are generating these things, it's mRNA, it's GMO,
Hmm.
you know. So I mean, this is the fact that that they're saying, okay, we're going to investigate. Well, we're going to end all the stuff happening, quite frankly, all this unholy research that's opening up Pandora's box in these labs is really good and really gets down to the bare bones nitty gritty of what needs to be done, which is just end it, stop it. We don't need it. We don't want it. It's not good for anybody. It's just good for Gates and Schwab and Larry Fink and all these weird, creepy people who hobble around, saying they want to, suck everybody's guts out, So, yeah, it's to put it that way. But so that's good. I like that.
Yeah, yeah. So, and then what is it? Hold a binding referendum to make parliamentary terms 4 years. Eh,
Mm,
sort of a bit of nothing there. I mean, I sort of think the 3-year terms are enough.
mm.
Imagine if you had Jacinda for another 4 years. That'd be terrible. Uh, Require a national interest to
Mean.
stop being dictated by the United Nations and the World Health Organization. Yeah,
Mm,
that's pretty decent there.
mm,
To
mm.
fund any public participation in the World Economic Forum and related bodies, whereas their deliberation and removal of independent diplomatic decisions is making by sovereign nations. So
What? Yeah,
I sort of
that's good. I like that. Yeah. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
oh sorry, I messed it up. Where the deliberations intend to remove the independent democracy's decision makings by sovereign nations. It's sort of a weird sentence, but I did sort of butcher it a little bit. So yeah,
Mm, mm.
defund the WEF. That's pretty epic.
Yeah, they seem to be concentrating on these issues and making it very clear that they want to take a very strong stance on it. So this is the direction. Like I know. Look. I like to see this. This is good stuff.
All
This
that's
is where
pretty good, except I don't know the 4-year parliamentary thing. Maybe not, but the rest of it's pretty good. So I'm willing to overlook that.
mm,
I mean, that's
mm,
not even that
yeah.
bad. It's a referendum, but
Mm,
I think 3 years is enough, really.
mm,
Yeah.
mm,
So to tackle the cost of living. Now, this one's sort of interesting. So balance the budget, so that they take the heat off inflation rates. So yeah, some more stuff to do with like the Reserve Bank and whatnot. So
mm,
you're not really going to reform that unless you again force the bank to give you interest-free loans. So I don't
mm,
really think
mm,
that's going to happen.
Yeah. No.
You
I,
know, sort out
mm,
government debt. I mean, fair enough.
yeah. Yeah.
Engine first will ensure that not 1 cent more is spent on light rail or new cycle lanes where we have potholes and traffic is getting slower. I mean, yeah, making sure the roads work, I guess, is good.
Yeah. 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 I don't know how much it really affects. Well, maybe it does. Yeah, I think there is quite a lot of New Zealand that is still quite underdeveloped, even though they're trying to keep us up to speed with the rest of the world. Um, but yeah, so perhaps that's a necessary thing.
So the next one is like reducing welfare, so getting more people off welfare and making sure you can only stay on welfare for 2 years maximum for a lifetime. I mean,
Mm.
yeah, fair enough, but well, what if like you're too based and you lose your job and then you just have to sit on the dole all day? I mean, you have to think about these
Come on.
things in the future.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's gonna be the future for. Well,
I mean, ideally, if you
yeah.
don't have a job and you sort of are in a tough situation, you should look into starting a business. So instead of just sitting on
Mm.
the dole, it's not really a very good mindset to have. But
Nah.
anyways,
Yeah, yeah. Nah, yeah, it's hard though. Not everybody can do a business, but yeah, I don't know. Unless you become a Mexican, like selling oranges or something. But yeah. Mm,
so this one you could use your Kiwi Saver to pay off your mortgage. Oh yeah, fair enough.
mm, mm,
Sort of neutral on that. NZ First will fund more super gold card relief type things.
More
Bring up the
boomers.
minimum wage to 25 an hour.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm iffy on that actually because that's just going to be kind of more inflationary, isn't is it not?
Yeah,
Sorry,
you'd think so.
inflationary. Yeah.
I think the best way to again tackle cost of living and inflation is to reduce taxes because
Mm.
we're overtaxed in this country.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah. Basically, if someone would just, let us have free reign of our lives and not tax us for
Yeah, stop
absolutely
taking
everything.
a third of your money and then the money just goes to like
Yeah,
nonsense like, oh, we
yeah,
have to do the fish and chips commission because of the whānau hooky
yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever it was
yeah,
called.
yeah. So that Tapuki and Co can have, a weekend eating fish and chips at the Mariah. You
Yeah,
know, that's
it's like
like
maybe
far.
spend
Thank.
less money on that.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
inquiry
Mm,
into foreign-owned banks and supermarkets. Yeah, that's pretty good.
mm,
You know,
mm,
commerce commissions for supermarkets and getting rid of the duopoly.
mm,
Good
mm,
luck, but again, the best way to tackle cost of living is to reduce taxes
mm.
and tax
Yeah.
reforms. So they actually tell you what the tax reform is. So they want to change the tax brackets. So workers will get an extra $27 a week, similar to national, but at least it's sort of going over how it works a bit better. So
Yes. Yeah.
so increase the tax brackets, adjust it for inflation. Like inflation is also part of the reason because the tax brackets don't go up with inflation. So you just give the government more and more percentage of your income, and
Basically.
the bit you keep goes less and less. So this should be
Yeah.
like a policy by default. The tax bracket should be adjusted for inflation.
And then they get annoyed when people buy into cryptocurrencies, and it's like, well, this is what's going on. So yeah, you're right. It really is good to show that they are actually going into detail about how they're actually going to bring this stuff about. And then Jack Tame gets butthurt about, he's bringing up all these nonsense issues to Winnie, and these things that don't even really
Oh,
matter.
Chalma
Where
Moldy, where's my
yeah,
fish and chips?
whereas I think this is the only website that has actually gone into,
A lot more
this is how
detail
we're
than
gonna.
Act. Act
Oh,
Party was sort of ridiculously lean.
yeah, that was
And I
really,
think that's
yeah.
probably a reason why. I bet a lot of people that were going to vote ACT go on their website, go, wow, this is stupid. There's like 6 policies here, and half the policies don't really say anything.
Mm,
Then they go,
mm,
oh, what about New Zealand first? They said they're going to go national and actually look at this and go, oh, they've actually got policies here. Whoa.
yeah,
It's a step
exactly,
up from ACT. So,
for sure. Yeah. All right, what
um,
else we got?
opportunity for all. So, health system not based on race. Yeah, that's good.
Mm,
Increased, what's this? New patient-focused medicine buying agency to replace Pharmac and increase its funding. So change Pharmac, I guess reform Pharmac. I don't know
mm,
what that would actually entail, but okay.
yeah, it's replace Farmac with. Okay, yeah, I don't know.
Reduce wait lists. It's like the healthcare reform's hard, so
Yeah, it's a difficult thing.
yeah.
Oh, well, yeah.
More GPs, so train up more doctors. Well, are they training it? Oh no, look, immigration priority. They want to import more
Oh,
doctors. That's sort of a bit sus.
yeah, yeah. It
It's
it is for that though. It is pretty difficult because look, if it was like doctors from South Africa or Germany
I mean, you
or
just
something.
know they're all going to come from India. Like, let's not beat around the bush. They want to
Yeah,
import more like dodgy doctors from India, so that's sort of a bit of a red
yeah.
flag for
Nah,
New
that's
Zealand
I
first.
wouldn't. You know the amount of like Indian doctors that have pulled the heads off babies and stuff, and like
Oh, it happens all
I
the time. It's ridiculous. In
yeah.
Australia recently, they had some like Indian doctor that just like randomly euthanized like 10 people because he felt like it. Like real sick
What the
stuff.
fuck? Yeah, excuse me, but like, yeah, it's like, yeah, stuff like that. You really need they don't have these issues in Japan where they
Like they
they
train their
trust.
own doctors. Yeah.
Yeah, they train their own doctors, and they yeah give them they prioritize doctors from Japan because they know the Japanese people feel more trusting and more comfortable around those doctors, and quite often that instinct is actually correct and right because yeah, you get so-called doctors where they cheat on a lot of these exams in India. So a doctor could really mean anything if it's coming from India or Sri
Yeah.
Lanka or whatever, where
S-
there's known to be rampant nationwide cheating. Like they have a huge problem with it. So it's like, well, yeah, you're right, Hector. It's like, yeah,
Yeah, it's
if
a
they
bit
do that,
sus there. Like you shouldn't be
yeah,
importing doctors from the like second world, third world countries because they're just going to be completely terrible. So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
maybe
No,
if they were like white doctors or something from like England or America or I don't
mm,
know, South Africa, like you said, white South Africans, and yeah,
yeah, yeah,
but you just know these are going to come from like the Philippines, India, China, all these
yeah,
dodgy places. So
yeah,
let's not
yeah,
do that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's
Let's
sort of
let's.
like the first red flag, major red flag I've seen on the New Zealand First website
Mm,
policy.
mm, yeah, yeah. It's yeah. That's a funny thing. I mean, I don't know if there's a way to really I guess verify if they're actual doctors, but yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it? So, but there's no reason why we can't train our own doctors up. I mean, we need like a medical program that really invests and focuses on, you know, training our own people up to be, have these high
Oh wait,
skilled
actually,
professions.
I just sort of
Sorry.
I read some more of the policy. They want to get doctors from Australia, Canada, Singapore, Ireland, the United States, and United Kingdom. So
Oh,
actually, it's
sweet.
not as bad as I thought.
Yeah,
Whether that
yeah.
will actually happen, I have a feeling they're just going to get them from India. But it says
Mm.
here at least they want to get them from countries that aren't complete shitholes.
Yeah, true, true. The only thing is that taking a broader kind of more of a step back, like be careful with your doctors, guys, because a lot of these people actually, have been vaccinating people, and I better be careful. Oh, did I say that? I meant they've been,
I think you can say that. You just can't go
yeah,
into too much specifics because we're on
yeah,
YouTube.
Yeah, my apologies. Yeah, that so just keep that in mind. Yeah, be aware of that, guys. And there's been a lot of revelations about what's going on there. Yeah, we're on YouTube, so I won't go into that. But there've been some really shocking things with that. I've got to say. So yeah, as long as you have like a healthy diet and you get to bed early and stuff, like you should be and stay away from seed oils and processed foods. Like you should be pretty sweet. Yeah, all the information's there on how to live like a normal. It's basically just like living like a caveman.
Mm,
Anyway, I'm getting off track here. That this should be for another podcast. But
yeah.
yeah, that's I wouldn't even trust the health care system. But this is, I guess, a step in the right direction instead of just getting Pajeets going, "Good morning, sir," and then they pull out a huge scimitar and say, "You're here for amputation surgery?" No, just here for some Panadol. Ah, yeah. I don't know. But yeah. So let's go. What's next?
Wait, my neighbor's dog is going nuts. I don't know if you can hear that or not.
Yeah, he disagreed with the Pajit policy,
Yeah.
probably,
Holy crap,
or
that
no,
dog's
he's
going crazy.
protesting it. He goes, yeah, I don't want Pajits either. Yeah. But anyway,
So yeah, it was increase the minimum wage. So already did that tax. They want to slightly reform immigration. They want to choose the accredited work visa in place of a skills shortage visa and labor visa. I mean, a step in the
mm,
right direction, but you need to be more radical than that, really.
yeah. Where's the legislation that gets our birth rates up, for instance? I mean,
Well, I mean, for that
well,
you need to again decrease the cost of living, and that will do
well,
it.
then again, like, do we need to have this burgeoning, always developing economy?
No, we don't.
That Yeah, so exactly. So like the question is we need to change the system to suit New Zealanders, not to
Change
suit
New
the
Zealand's,
business.
yeah,
Yeah.
not change New Zealand to, appease the business interests and the interests of the
Yeah.
banks. Uh,
Mm,
but anyways, that's probably a story for another day.
mm. But yeah, I think our viewers get that. They understand that. They're smart. Yeah.
And abuse of migrant workers. So I don't know, crack down on like the Pajeets that hire other Pajeets and then like pay them
Mm.
1 cent an hour. So whether that will actually happen, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Well,
Build
yeah, hopefully.
infrastructure. I mean, we sort of get it. Oh, investigate reopening the Marsden Point refinery. That's actually pretty good.
That's good. That's good. We need that.
And
Yeah, we need that reopened.
keeping the aluminium smelter open in Tawanui or whatever the heck it is.
Mm, mm. Yeah, we need more of those kinds of things actually. And that's probably could take a long time to reopen a lot of these factories. It takes
Yeah,
years for some of them to, so we need to get that going as soon as possible.
yeah. So I mean, that's a pretty good one. Reopen the finery. I guess that's sort of niche, though. I don't know if the National Party would let them do it, but at
Mm,
least it's there. Tough
mm,
on
mm,
crime. 500 more workers. I think National only wanted 300 more. So there you go. Slightly more.
mm, mm,
Double the
mm,
amount of youth aid officers. Introduce mandatory minimum prison sentences. Yep, good stuff.
mm, mm,
Review police paying conditions to reduce attrition. Yeah, fair enough.
mhm.
Adequately resource policing communities like Maoris and Pacifica Wardens and Neighborhood Watch. So yeah,
Okay. Introduce a youth to tackle. Okay, cool. Review fleeing driver. Okay.
yeah. So some of that's sort of like whatever, but more officers and actually having mandatory prison sentences for crimes like bashing your missus or something like that is probably a good thing. So or like drug dealing and stuff like that. So fair enough.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Um, Fun
Whoa.
tattoo removal for gang members in prison. Okay.
That seems kind of weird. Like,
I guess it's
I
part
don't
of
know.
this is to rehabilitate them, but I don't know. Uh,
Mm, you just need to make them like basically like second class citizens. Like, it's clear these people are not like a normal. I don't mean second class in that they're less human, but like they're
well, I mean, they're in
they're
prison and they're usually there for a good reason. So
yeah, in terms of what I'd like to see in terms of rehabilitation is like you give them a very specific role in society that they can carry out where they can't screw with other people. Their freedoms are a bit more limited, but it's for the purpose of not screwing with other people don't get hurt, and they don't damage society any further, and they're not like organized in which they can inflict massive more damage on the system and on the nation. So
Yeah.
that's what I'd like. So I don't really think we should. We're gonna remove your tattoos. You know, we're gonna give you a spanking. You know, this is just sort of like feminine, sort of like mummy behavior. You know, like
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
okay, these people like their brains are wired in such a way that they're more
Well,
like
they
animalistic.
they're
They
violent
can't.
criminal gang members. They're basically like the lowest of the low on the
Yeah,
in society. So
yeah. I mean, so it's always been a process in every organic society to kind of do have a way of dealing with these people. So the most humane way is to sort of, instead of just executing them like they would in the past, just have a very particular role for them in society where they can, you know, get up, go to work, you know,
yeah,
do some and be monitored and
monitored and like regimented.
yeah, yeah,
So
and yeah, yeah,
usually within the prison. So they go to they're in their prison. They have a sleep. They have their like kuma in the morning for breakfast. And then they go work in like I don't know a factory or something making like hard hats or license plates. And then they
yeah,
go
or
back, have their KFC in the prison cell, and go to sleep. And then you
yeah,
just
basically something like that. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then it's like there's a board of like, okay, how can Tapaki like what freedoms is he, you know, and be very serious about it, and because these are not normal people. Let's just
yeah,
say that they're not, that they don't think like everybody else. They're yeah,
yeah. Well,
operating off a much more primal. Yeah, I shouldn't even say that because I think cave people or prehistoric people were actually very smart. But
probably
yeah.
smarter
Anyway.
than a lot of people are today. But
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, no,
anyways,
you're right. Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah. Mm.
so there's some pretty based ones. Establish gang-only prison to reduce the recruitment of gang members. So this is sort of like what they're doing in El Salvador, like with Bukali.
Oh,
So gang-only
yeah.
prison, make
Oh,
gangs as
yeah.
terrorist organizations. Is that, again the same thing that's happening in El Salvador?
Yeah, I guess so, that is, because MS-13, yeah, they put them all in one big. Yeah, that's interesting that you bring that up now. But yeah, I wonder what that would be. Would that concentrate the problem, or would that
Um,
actually concentrate, you know,
Well,
their
the gang only prisons in
focus?
El Salvador, they put them in a big prison and they are like they have basically no freedom. They're basically
Sweet.
just in their cell. They have 20-year sentences and they're just in their cell for that 20 years. And I don't even know what's
Shoot.
going to happen when they let them out because they're all going to be like 50 or something. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's how you have to deal with them because those people are freaking crazy. And you do hear stories around New Zealand of how, like, it does get that level of bad.
yeah,
Like just insane. Like, people, like, outside, people inside, like, Christchurch and Auckland and Wellington, I don't think are aware of, like, how bad it can actually get in these more, like, out, like, rural, kind of strange places there are.
yeah,
Like,
like
where the
Tie
gangs.
Happy or something. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, like there was some like even I didn't know about it until a couple of some years back, and I just went, "Holy crap, that is so insane!" That's something you never hear about, like,
yeah,
but it exists, and it's just crazy. Like
yeah.
it gets insanely violent, and it's like MS-13 level basically. So, yeah, so that's actually interesting.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good policy. Whether they'll actually be able to pull it off in a national government, I mean, who knows?
hmm, yeah,
Uh,
that's cool though. I like yeah.
Harsher
Anyway.
penalties for hit and runs. Yeah, fair enough. So,
Mm.
prisoner constructed prison portability units. So they're going to have prisoners. Oh, they're going to have prisoners build the new gang prisons. That's sort of what I think they did that in El Salvador as well. So they
Dude,
pretty much
that's
just
pretty
cop.
cool.
I mean, that's pretty cool. They just copy and pasted these pretty based policies from El Salvador, and they've been working,
Dude,
extremely successfully there. So they do
this
it.
is
If it,
like
if it
a
works in
neo.
like brown Central America land, I'm pretty sure it can work here.
Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, this is like a neo-fascist light sort of thing
Well,
that's
I
like
mean,
coming.
Mussolini dealt with the mafia. He was like the only government that was ever able to deal with the problem of organized crime because he just
Mm,
arrested them all.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, this is quite. I quite like this actually.
Yeah,
Yeah. So.
pretty good.
Mm,
So I think that's sort of the bulk of it.
mm, mm.
Stuff for seniors. So Keep the
Oh,
retirement age at
we
65. Yeah, fair enough.
yeah.
Pensions, probably put pensions up. I mean, doesn't really matter.
Mm, yeah, we can see what.
Base boomers can read this themselves if they want. I don't know. I think we've been on NZ First for a while, but I think that sort of covers the
Mm,
main bit. So NZ First, yeah, pretty good. Some pretty sort of weird stuff there. Like they're not actually that tough on migration like you would hope them to be, but at
mm,
least they're
mm,
against like co-governance and whatnot. Uh, they want to only get doctors from Australia and the UK, so
mm.
it's an improvement than just getting them from like the Philippines and India and China.
Oh yeah.
So all right stuff there. I mean, it would have been good if they actually had some really nice immigration policies where they go, actually, we're not just going to let the ACT Party bring in whoever the hell wants to come here. So it'd be
Mm,
good if they had something like that in there, but unfortunately they don't. Rather than
yeah.
that, on like stuff on crime and
Mm,
co-governance, and they even said they'll defend free speech and stuff, which ACT Party didn't. So
mm,
some good
mm,
stuff
mm,
there.
mm,
So
mm.
yeah, New Zealand first, not too bad. But then again, you have to think of the Winston factor. Can Winston Peters be trusted? When he was in the
Mm,
last Labor government, he made a lot of big promises, had that kingmaker position. I didn't
mm,
really deliver that much. I mean, what?
mm.
So
There's just not a lot of wiggle room for him because we're all dominated by shit libs in this country, whether it's Labour or National
yeah,
or ACT, or Greens. It's just hard for a genuine right wing person to wield any weight in this nation in terms of
just
getting things across. So yeah,
getting
it's
rid of
it's
some of these.
difficult. It's a tricky one. But yeah, hopefully he will, whatever influence he does exude, he will be able to, yeah, yeah. Somehow he's got a. I hope he's able to do that. Yeah.
Now we get to go to the Chumamodi party. So let's see what their panu is. See what the panu is for these guys. I think, oh no, policy. I don't know what a panu is. Policy.
Yeah.
Oh, Chumamodi. Let's see what their policies are.
Uh,
Justice, tax. Oh, interesting to see what their tax reform is.
yeah, yeah.
Te reo Māori or Choma Māori. All right, we'll have a look at some of these. Health.
Mm,
So establish obviously the Maori Party is going to be for co-governance and separatism. Have a Maori
mm,
authority. Give Maori cheaper healthcare funding or something.
mm,
The
mm.
Maori Disability Organisation. Establish a Maori AAC. Just Maori everything. So basically, as much co-governance as possible.
yeah.
Make sure Maori efficiency is part of like NZ schooling. I don't know why.
Mm.
Immediately abolish minimum wage exemptions for tangama wagawa. I don't know what that is. So yeah, a bunch of pro-governance stuff, which is not really surprising.
Mm, mm, mm.
That's with
Yeah. So
disability.
that's basically where they're taking this party. Just put them
Or
in
give
an
them as
elite
much stuff as
position.
possible. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah.
Establish a Maori Justice Authority.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Maori police, like the Jews have like Jewish police that
Yeah.
go around in those
They want a
vans.
Scandinavia style prison where you just get to play like PlayStation all day. So
Oh, sup, cussy? Yep,
oh,
I
why don't you
jump
play
on the
video Call of
Xbox.
Duty? Oh, we could do some split screen, bro. Oh, I just got a 3 kill streak, my body. Oh, cheer, bro.
Oh god, that's good. I just want like a fun house for Maori prisoners or something. Oh, that's
Repeal
hilarious.
the bail amendment act. I don't even know what that is, but it's probably like, oh, you can't arrest me. Oh, I
Yeah,
just
cause
only,
I'm old.
Brody only attacked me, cuzzy, bro. It's not even that bad. He only lost 5 fingers, mate. My uncle, he lost 6 fingers, and he's going all good. Oh, anyways, uh, wipe criminal convictions for drug use and possession. Some stuff about like legalizing meth, probably.
Mm,
Clean Slate Act, whatever. Require police officers wear body cameras. I actually agree with that. So
mm.
that's
Yeah,
something I can agree with the Maori Party on.
yeah. There are probably a couple of things we can agree with actually,
Yeah.
but yeah, because
What
they're in the
else?
sort of the same state as we are, really, in a funny way. Um,
Steps to freedom payment. So what? You get out of prison and they give you $1,000. Oh, chill, bro.
1,000 to get.
He's So yeah,
Yeah,
a bunch of
yeah,
like, soft on crime stuff. Although I do agree with wearing body cameras, like that seems fair enough.
yeah, yeah.
Police do need to be held accountable, as I'm not a fan of the police either, to be fair.
No, nobody
Uh,
really is.
yeah, whatever. So a bunch of soft on crime stuff. So like complete opposite of what New Zealand First said.
Yeah, that.
Tapunga Maori, bro.
And with the education system, it's just like re-engineering everything to be Maori and have a Maori bias,
Yeah,
basically.
so it's basically like as much co-governance as possible. Give me $1 billion,
Yeah.
my bro. I need that for me cousins. So there you go. More
Yeah.
money for
Well,
Maoris.
it'll be like the We Was Kangs things. We'll have like rocket ship Mirais, like that
Gee,
or
we had
like
spaceship Mirais before those Pakeha got here, bro.
we'll have
We
like a
was
Mirai,
was nine
a
foot
KFC
tall.
Mirai,
KFC Mirai. We was nine
like
foot tall and spun around muskets, my Maori. Before the Pakeha made us all small.
yeah. I don't know how he did that, but yeah.
I don't know either.
He doesn't go into depth on that. He should explain how we
Yeah.
made them small. But
So tax the rich. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Average person's paying 20% tax while the wealthy's only paying 10. I mean, yeah, these are all good questions that we probably need to answer ourselves.
mm,
Company tax rate. Yeah, fair enough.
mm,
Uh, wealth tax foreign companies. Yeah, that's fair enough.
mm,
Wealth tax, don't really know, depends on it. Vacant house tax, I sort of agree with that, so I agree with some of these. I
mm.
mean, yeah, sort of good stuff in concept, but it's like, how will it actually work?
Yeah, some of those ideas are good. Yeah, vacant how I think we still have a lot of rich Chinese like
Yeah,
people who so that's some of these ideas are actually
remove GST from
pretty good.
Kai. What the hell's a Kai? Is that like a Kumra?
It just means food and Murray.
Oh, I was
Like
close.
Kai
I
Moana.
mean,
Yeah, you
I,
are.
I got, yeah, I got.
Their food
No,
basically is just kumara.
they actually do this in Australia, and I think it's a good policy to not have GST on food you buy at the
Yeah,
supermarket. So stuff like that can actually work. So I actually sort
true.
of agree with that.
Yeah.
Tax cuts. I mean, yeah, I agree with tax cuts. So, I mean, the tax policy isn't too bad. Oh, look, we get
Mm.
way more under the Maori Party, bro. National's only going to give me $20. The Maori Party's going to give me $125, bro. Oh, gee, cuz.
Oh jeez. Well, I think that pretty. I think you summed it up really well. That it's basically just co-governance with everything.
Yeah,
So
co-governance, but at least they want to give you a big tax cut. So,
yeah, there are some good ideas. I'll give them that. But I mean, it's just not viable for the state of New Zealand right now. And yeah, it's yeah.
yeah, no, I do sort of agree with the concept of cutting taxes. And I mean, if you could cost it and also decrease the amount of government spending along with the tax cuts, in
Mm.
like areas of like bureaucratic bloat and nonsense. But the thing is, like the Maori Party wants more bureaucratic bloat and nonsense. So the
Yeah.
tax cuts don't really make any sense. They want to
Yeah.
cut taxes while giving all this, like establishing all these new Maori authorities and giving like billions of dollars. So it's
Mm,
like what?
mm.
It's like, oh, we'll
True.
just print some more money, bro. We'll be sorted, mate.
Yeah,
Oh, I'll
pretty
pay you
much.
in with KFC vouchers, bro.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I think that wraps that up. We can
yeah.
move on. I
I mean,
think
yes.
it's
I mean, yeah. I agree with lowering taxes, but it doesn't make sense for the Maori Party to lower taxes when they want to like double the amount of bureaucratic bloat. Just doesn't add up.
mm, yeah, no, that's not gonna yeah.
Well,
And they're actually their own kind of globalist institution as well. So we all know where that leads. All roads
yeah.
lead back to Davos. So and in this world, so
Yep.
yeah.
Now we're sort of up to the parties that are not in Parliament and probably most likely won't get in Parliament, but I think it's good to go over them anyway.
Mm,
So
mm.
we'll start with Freedom's parties. I've endorsed them in the past. Let's go over the policies and see if that endorsement holds. Who knows? So the Freedom Party has a couple policies. They've got the law and order policy. Again, sort of stuff that makes sense. Let the police not be political pawns. Yeah, makes sense. Crack down on crime. Wipe out ram raids. Flipping the gang scripts with prisons in the community. So yeah, makes sense. Doesn't actually go
Mm,
into that much detail. Wait, do I have to like
mm.
download a PDF or something? Oh, here it is. Why is it in a PDF?
Yeah, I know.
You should have just put it on the website.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe they
massive
wanted to
increase in
share
crime
blame.
rates. That is true. Ram
Mm,
raids, domestic violence, homicide, gang members. These are all good points.
mm, mm.
Yeah, so they're going into how crap this current system is, which is true.
God, it's good we actually have a country that's actually we're so blessed that we at least have some parties that are willing to say at least they're going to be tough on crime, and have this be a national issue. Because I just look at the rest of the world and I go, man, that's not good, you know. But we'll see. Things can change, but yeah.
So bring some sort of like mentor program. So if you come from like a gang member family, maybe they could get the children out of the gang. Yeah, fair enough.
Mm,
Family mentors and
yeah,
race-based policies on Maori getting direct funding. Yeah, fair enough.
yeah.
I agree with that. Reduce
Do you
crime
want to put the
levels.
Oh, sorry. Do you want to put the PDF on the screen
Oh,
so we can
I
see?
sorry, I was sharing it on the
Yeah.
stream, but I wasn't sharing it with you.
Oh,
Oops,
okay. No, that's
sorry.
all good. No, no,
There we
no,
go.
that's all right. Okay, sweet. That doesn't matter. All right.
So get more police in. Yeah, get police to actually working front line instead of just being like bureaucrats.
Yeah, giving people tickets.
Zero tolerance towards petty crime. Fair enough.
Mm,
Introduce body cams. Oh, there you go. They have that thing as well. So
mm.
stole it from Dutch cousins, bro. That's their policy. No, I actually sort of agree with that. Fair enough.
Mm,
Inquire into the political interference of the NZ police. Yeah, good
mm,
idea
mm.
because the police have become like Zog bots is a good way to put it, I guess.
Basically, yeah, no, totally.
So yeah, they actually go into the police and
Detail. Yeah.
um,
6 month blitz based.
based and epic pilled crime hotspots. So putting curfews for crime hotspots. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, cool.
Uh, electronic monitoring for youths. Yeah.
Mm.
Minister for men. Well, you have a minister for women, so
Yeah, but
make sure. I think this is to make sure like gang members that are raising children are like actually raising their children properly. I mean, good luck.
mm, mm,
It's gonna be a pretty tough one, but I guess you're trying.
mm. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
We have a gang exit plan, so help people get out of gangs.
Mm,
Prison rehabilitation, yeah. This is sort of some of the similar stuff you saw on NZ First. We're like, oh, we're going to help people get out of gangs. It's that sort of stuff. Tough on
mm, mm,
crime. So yeah, good stuff. So being a gang affiliate's just like again should be an aggravating factor in sentencing someone for a crime. Makes sense.
mm,
And remove private prisons. Yeah,
mm,
sort of agree with
mm,
that.
mm,
Oh, there you
mm.
go. Not too bad.
Yeah.
Not too bad. I also liked that instead of just going on the gangs like NZ First did, they also went, also our police are like Zogbots, so maybe we should look into that as well.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, yeah. I like how they have a detailed plan with all of that. So that's promising. Mm.
All right, here we go. So here's their farm. This one isn't a PDF. I don't know why the other one was a PDF and then this one is. So farming policy, remove, get out of the WEF, pretty good. Get out of the World Health Organization, pretty good. Remove UN-driven campaigns to control the countryside and climate change fraud. Yep, all good stuff there. Put New
Mm,
Zealand
mm,
first before other countries. Makes sense. Repeal Three Waters. Good.
mm,
Repeal
mm,
the
mm,
Zero Carbon Act. Good. Remove emissions tax. Good. Support farm irrigation. If you do it responsibly, irrigation, you need to do it carefully.
mm, mm,
Depends
mm,
if like you're not like depleting the water table, then
mm,
yeah. So you need to do like you need to be somewhat sensible when it comes to irrigation. Otherwise, you end up with like what is it the Aral Sea in Russia or wherever it is, where it got completely drained because they irrigated it irresponsibly. So
mm,
you got to be
mm.
careful with stuff like that.
You gotta have people checking up on farmers to check the levels and have audits and stuff to make
Yeah,
you know.
I don't think it should be completely unregulated, but you don't have
Mm,
to be like a complete like red tape disaster. So there
mm,
should
mm,
be some way to do it.
mm. Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah, pine plantations are really bad. It's sort of crazy that we incentivize people planting pines when it completely destroys the soil. It makes it acidic and it gets rid of any sort of nitrogen in the soil and just makes it crap.
Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, yeah. I guess we got to do something, but yeah, it's that's definitely an issue.
Basically, a
Um,
disaster waiting to happen because of the timber industry, but we haven't really come up with a solution to do that
mm,
sustainably.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's something we need to think about.
Prevent purchase of farmland by non-citizens. Now that's pretty good. I agree with that.
Mm, that, yeah, that is good. Yeah.
Remove the SNSSS, whatever the heck that is. SNAS. Oh, significant areas of national legislation. Uh,
Yeah.
encourage farmers to fence native lands. Yeah. Remove restricted water grazing. I don't know. I think you sort of do need to be somewhat restrictive with water grazing because it will ruin the waterways if you let cows poop in it all the time.
Mm, mm,
I
mm.
think you also,
Yeah.
yeah, you need to be somewhat sensible there.
Yeah, yeah, that definitely it's harming a lot of native species in the waterways, and yeah, it's you should have clean water, because yeah, there needs to be, yeah, because we drink that water, and they're all connected, right? And the whole native ecosystem relies on these waterways and riparian species that are endangered. So yeah, it's yeah, there
Oh,
needs to be some sort of innovative action
no, I
to
just
make
misread
that
that
okay.
completely. It's winter grazing, not water grazing.
Oh,
Whoops.
okay. Okay.
Sorry, it's been like 2 hours, so I forgot how to read. Also, I realized I'm not sharing the screen, unfortunately. There you go. Winter grazing. So yeah, I don't really know too much about winter grazing, but I guess you don't
Mm,
want to overgraze, but you have to be somewhat sensible about it.
mm, mm,
Reduce
mm.
council rates. Yeah, that's pretty good. Mental health support. Yeah, that's all fine and dandy.
Why do they want to remove the RMA?
Uh, I don't know. What would you? I mean, you have to have some sort of
Yeah,
planning.
environmental management. We will remove restrictions on drainage construction. We
I
will
don't know.
fully.
I
Yeah,
mean, you sort of don't want people to be making slums, so you do need some sort of resource like building
yeah,
consent. So, uh,
yeah. That's a bit of a funny one, I think, but
yeah,
yeah, maybe they could change it, but maybe don't remove it
yeah.
altogether.
Well, I mean, it probably is. It probably is bloated and does need reform, but removing it
Mm,
altogether seems a bit extreme, to be fair.
yeah, yeah,
Remove
yeah.
red tape. Yeah, there probably is a lot of nonsense red tape, probably all to do with, like climate change and whatnot. So get rid of all that.
Mm, mm.
Health and safety rules. Invest in rural infrastructure. And now this one's sort of sus. This one where it goes, we're going to streamline the SRE system to make it easier and faster to import seasonal workers where required. So basically, the Freedom Party, for some reason, is pro mass migration when it comes to farm workers. And these people
Mm.
all come from like second world, like third world countries.
Yeah, I
So
mean, as long as they're seasonal, I guess. But yeah,
even
it's
then, it's like, come on, like farms just
yeah,
like figure out how to either like automate it or get locals to be able to harvest your crops because it's not really sustainable to just be importing a bunch of like islanders and then half of them end up not going back anyway.
yeah.
So
Well, we have robots to like pick apples and stuff anyway.
yeah,
So
I mean we've
there's
had
we
combine
just
harvested for decades.
mm. So oh right, right, true. So, but I mean, there are little robots. Like we should
Yeah,
invest in like technology. I think so. We just can scrap this problem altogether. Like
yeah.
it's really impressive the agricultural robots that they do have. It's like well that works and it's efficient and yeah,
No, well,
it's good.
agriculture's highly like automatic now. It's been highly automized,
Mm,
so you don't need seasonal workers anymore, and they're getting less
mm,
and less needed. But if you
mm.
keep like subsidizing farmers to import workers, you're not actually going to innovate because you're just putting a band-aid on the problem and
Yeah,
making things
exactly.
worse.
Yeah,
So
innovation is key. We should be constantly progressing into like a great future,
yeah,
that's great for everybody instead of just staying stuck in the past. I mean, that's something that New Zealand could just get better at in general, is just developing ourselves, just like Japan.
yeah.
They're always on the cutting edge of technology and making their people's lives better. So yeah, and as such, they're not going to suffer the same things that a lot of the West will suffer. So yeah, it's a bit
So
silly.
I don't agree with that. That's sort of like a mass migration. sort of white genocide policy. So highly
But
disagree with that one.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So not good on Freedom's part, to be fair.
Mm.
What's this one? Better freedom for you. Oh, what the? Why are all their Why are all of their pages different? It's sort of weird. Well, at least this one's a
Mm.
quick one. So sovereign
Yeah.
New Zealand, we sort of went over some of these. Free the global control from UN, WEF, WHO.
Mm. That's good. That's yeah, good that there's an emphasis on that. And
Restore true democracy, protect freedom of speech, and compensation of those that are vax injured.
mm,
Yeah, good stuff. I mean, the Freedom Party's got a lot of good stuff there. But for
mm,
some reason, they've got that one mass migration of farm workers policy, which is a pretty big red flag, to be honest.
yeah, that's kind of like one of the main issues that
I was quite disappointed when I noticed that a couple days ago.
mm,
I was like, wow, I thought these guys are actually good, but if they have policies like that, it's like, come on, did you just like think about it for a sec?
yeah, yeah. I mean, how often is it that seasonal workers get sent back? Do we know?
They don't deport anyone in New Zealand. If they don't want to leave, they're not going to send them back. Like
Ah,
that's
well,
how our
fuck.
immigration system works at the moment.
Yeah, that's pretty
They
retarded.
don't,
So I
they,
mean, they need to be more stringent on that because I can kind of understand like, well, you need some business operations to keep going, but
I mean,
if you don't have a like a plan to get them sent back, then yeah, what's the point?
they only send illegal migrants back in New Zealand if they commit a crime, and even then, they usually don't. So
Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, yeah. That's tricky. That's tricky.
put my
Mm,
money in your
mm,
pocket. So yeah, I mean that's all right, but it's sort of disappointing to see that policy there.
mm.
So we'll go to loyal, shall we? So
Shall
another
we? Okay.
party, another sort of freedom party, without actually being the freedom party, but like pro freedom, pro free speech, pro
Mm,
sovereignty party. Let's see what they're about.
mm. Do you want me to read some or?
Yeah, my voice is getting a bit
Oh,
tired.
okay. Yeah. Sorry, I should have offered earlier, but
I'll share the
yeah.
screen with you. I don't think you can see it.
Mm. Okay. Cool. So, oh, the
Oh, sorry.
words are.
There
No,
you go.
that's okay. Oh, can you zoom in a bit? I can't really
Oh, can you
kind of
see
make
that?
my. Okay. Cool.
Right up
So
here at the
okay.
top.
So first, right off the bat, we have NZ's participation in the UN, WEF, and WHO. That's good. We like to see that. Repeal Oppressive Therapeutic Products Act, where they basically try to take your own ability to self-diagnose and choose your own remedies to heal yourself, whatever you perceive your ailment to be. That's basically like medical freedom. So I think that's very good. And instead of just having like I guess manufactured uh, medicines that you can only buy from this one system. I think that's good. Uh, Elevate energy independence, including oil and gas. Yep, every economy needs oil and gas. It's a staple. It's insane that New Zealand is getting rid of it. Void all restrictive regulation that unreasonably inhibits farmers' ability to farm. Yep. I mean,
Again,
a
yeah, I
lot of
mean, you
this,
have to be sensible again. Like, you don't want to over
yeah,
irrigate or like,
but a
yeah.
lot of this climate change stuff
Oh yeah,
is
no,
just
that can
crap.
all go in the bin.
Yeah.
But I mean, a
So,
lot of stuff to do with like waterways is sort of important, to be fair.
oh, absolutely. Yeah, there is a definite environmental impact that farming produces. So again, it's like we need more innovation. We need, you know, people to solve these issues and but in the meantime we
Well,
need
that's
to
the thing. I'm
mitigate.
sure most farmers would be like quite reasonable. It's okay, you shouldn't let your cows like,
Mm,
shit in the
in the
street.
stream,
I
yeah.
think most farmers know that.
Yeah. No, there's got to be, yeah. So I mean, yeah, there has to be something around that. Everybody wants clean streams, but everybody wants food. You know, nobody wants to screw the
I mean,
farmers
we don't want to
over.
be eating bugs, but it's like, yeah, we have to be somewhat sensible.
Yeah, introduce a simplified tax system utilizing a 1% transaction tax.
I'm not against the
That's
transaction tax. I sort of like transaction taxes because it makes tax avoidance for like, the elites quite hard. They can't just put monies in like secret trusts and accounts.
true. That's a good point. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Interesting. That's actually an interesting point. I didn't even think
Yeah,
about that.
I mean, if I was in charge of a tax policy, I would have a tax policy of income very similar to what actually the Maori Party had. Have a tax-free
Yeah,
bracket and lower the tax rates and adjust the tax rates to inflation, and
true.
get rid of GST or get GST down to like maybe 5%, and then add a 1% transaction tax. That's a pretty good tax system, and 99% of the population would be paying way less tax.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's true, true. I think we should I would just go full libertarian and just
Oh,
say
whoops.
don't
I
pay
sort
any
of wait,
tax.
hold up.
We should
I sort of messed up the stream slightly, but it should be fixed for the
I
viewers.
I can see. No, no,
Yeah,
that's good.
sorry, it was in OBS, but I fixed it. Yeah.
No, this is good. Removal of fluoride to public water supply. Now, fluoride is actually like a highly corrosive acid, for those of
Hmm.
you who don't know, and it can is actually a
Lowers
chemical
your
that is
IQ, doesn't
actually.
it? Like average 3 points if you drink fluoride throughout your childhood, it lowers your IQ by 3 points on average.
Yeah, well, yeah, because it's a harmful substance, a highly harmful substance. You have to have like all this protective equipment, and it burns right through people's skin and like bones and stuff. So it is, so that's good. There's no need for it, and you should be using a non-fluoridated toothpaste.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of them out there, so
Whoops.
use non-fluoride. Severely reduce all use of glyphosate spraying, and then said find and fund practical and workable solutions. So yeah, there's no need for glyphosate. That is again a very
Can you red pill me on glyphosate? I actually know like nothing about it.
yeah, no, that's all good. In short, that it's basically like not a lot of people do know about it actually. But basically it's these chemicals that they spray a part of the family of chemicals that they spray on our plants to stop molds and funguses and other stuff from eating away at the plants. But there's really no need for it. There are other like organic natural ways to ward off pests and funguses and things like that. There's all kinds of natural farming methods to actually take care of that. We don't need any of these chemicals, and the glyphosates are actually um, really this is a big reason and why there is so much transgender or gender confusion because these chemicals are the people are literally eating these chemicals because of the plant's semi-permeable membrane that is absorbed in the skin of a plant and into I guess the body of the fruit or the vegetable of the plant, and people are eating it, and it's again it's affecting people's hormones, and it's bending the chemicals. And Alex Jones was really right when he said that the frogs are turning gay, but they weren't just turning gay; they were literally turning transsexual. And it is a RFK talks about this a lot in his
So
interview with
yeah.
Joe Rogan, and
Okay.
so it's actually a very important issue. So I'm glad that someone has brought this up because this is having a harmful effect on people's genetics, and it needs to stop. There's no good reason for it.
More
It's,
reasons why we should, like you said earlier, shop like organically if you can, or
yeah,
try your best to.
oh, yeah, go organic, guys. Go. You know, people just like to kind of wave it off and go, ah, whatever, the seed oils, chemicals. But no, you guys really need to. This is affecting your everybody's health. Okay, and trying the right not to not have land arbitrarily seized. That's good in terms of co-governance
Yeah.
and all this stuff. Thoroughly uproot globalist agendas from schools, putting all teachings off limits as a matter of New Zealand law. So I guess that refers to the transgender
Yeah, like
education.
communism or transgenderism being taught by like public school teachers to like 5 year
Mm,
olds.
yeah, sorry, I'm just.
Oh, you're right there. Oh, I think he's taking a phone call. Well, anyways, I'll take over. Investigate the Reserve Bank and its past practices. It depends on what you're investigating it for. I mean, like I said, the Reserve Bank should be reformed. And I think that's a very important policy. The Reserve Bank should be reformed so that it can give interest-free loans to the government so they can build infrastructure, and give interest-free loans to also consumers so they can buy stuff like, a house. Because, usury is wrong and it's immoral and it should be illegal, honestly. So all loans should be interest-free. So then that starts with the Reserve Bank. Investigate who has benefited by selling the country out to the green agenda. Yeah, that would be good. I think you'll find out who benefits from that, and that's sort of like these NGOs and the UN and whatnot. They're the ones that benefit from that. The gun club, responsible gun ownership. I mean, they actually talked about it. New Zealand First didn't talk about it. Not even Freedom Party talked about it. I mean, not even ACT talked about it. So it's good that the Loyal Party is actually talking about bringing back gun rights instead of just go, oh, we removed all the guns, and that's our law and order policy, like Labor did. Remove all race-based policies. Again, a good thing. We've seen that several times. Teach our children about the importance of informed consent and object morality. Yep, good stuff. Empower Kiwis by reinstating private property rights against the state. Yeah, it depends what they're talking about, but the government shouldn't be able to just seize your land because some Maori claimed it or something. All good stuff there. International agreements which have been entered into by corrupt governments without consulting us will be made void. Now that sort of needs to happen. We have a lot of like dodgy trade agreements with like China and South Korea and Taiwan and Singapore, all these Asian like developing countries, and a lot of them is a bunch of nonsense. We should really be renegotiating a lot of these trade free trade agreements in quotes, but while we could just get like the raw end of the stick. So let's renegotiate our trade agreement with China because honestly, it's overdue. Open free market approach utilizing New Zealand companies to construct and maintain road and infrastructure. I mean, it's sort of like, how do you really do that? Are you going to put road tolls in? Don't necessarily agree with that, but oh no, it's not the worst thing in the world. Establishing a New Zealand constitution to limit the powers of government and enshrine our God-given national rights to hold them inviolable. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, New Zealand doesn't have a constitution, and it probably should have one, to be fair. Whistleblower protection, that's good. What else have we got? Protect children from corrupt sex and gender education. Yeah, very important stuff right there. It's one of the most important moral issues going on right now. So it's good that they're speaking up against it. Hold a full inquiry into the media propaganda departments funded by taxpayer corporate sponsorships. That's good stuff there. Promote research and development into holistic health models. Yeah, why not? I mean, depends how much they want to fund it. Hopefully, they're not giving it like $1 billion like the Maoris want to give to all their co-governance organizations that they plan to build. Stamp out excessive money printing, which leads to the debasement of currency and their and inevitably hyperinflation. Yeah, I mean, to do that, you're going to have to tackle the system of fractional reserve banking. So that's always a good thing, but it depends on how you do it. Yeah, get if you get rid of fractional reserve banking and get back more of a uh, not necessarily central banking, but just holding banks accountable to the money and debt they give out and making sure all loans are interest free, then a lot of these issues will sort themselves out. By having like interest free loans, you're basically getting rid of inflation already because debt is inflationary. Because you take out a loan, the money just gets invented in a database in a bank like at BNZ or whatever, and you have to pay that back with your own productive labor. And it's more than you take out. So it's inflationary just by the nature of it because you're creating more money out of money instead of labor. So that's what fuels inflation. Debt and usury fuels inflation, and that's just the way the system is. And ideally, we should change that. Um, that's pretty much it. We still lost Gil. He's still not back yet. When he comes back, we'll get his overview on the Loyal Party because that's pretty much it. They seem pretty good. They seem pretty good. Nothing there I majorly disagree with, except maybe like the privatizing, what was it, road building and roads. Maybe don't really agree with that, but the rest of it's pretty good, and I'm willing to overlook that. The rest of it's pretty decent here. Democracy New Zealand, we'll do that one. So another one, this is another one of the smaller parties. Democracy New Zealand is sort of more of a farmer party. Let's have a look at what they got. Got a couple of ones here. No, mate, my throat's starting to get a bit raw. So what do they want to do? Again, these are so no farming tax. Yeah, that's good. New Zealand is already overtaxed, so it's good that we reduce that. Seems good to me. What else do we got? Public awareness of gold, agriculture's gold standard, low climate farming. Yeah, that's all good. Identify local oh mate, I've been talking too long. I can't speak anymore. Identify local environmental issues and monitor progress a nationwide catchment of groups to be created, which include local landowners, regional councils, and district representatives. So you're basically building like a guild to make sure that. I mean, this is sort of better than just having the government dictate it. Have a guild of farmers and councilmen, whatnot, to dictate local environmental standards. It's better than the central government just dictating to farmers what they can and can't do, and make sure water quality goals are reached. So these ones aren't like as super crazy, maybe a bit too over the top, like the Freedom Party farming policy, where they're like, oh, it's going to get rid of all regulations with farming. I mean, you do need some like sensible regulations, and it seems like the Freedom Party's more towards that, so that's a good thing. Yeah, get rid of the SNAs, regional diversity, all that sort of like nonsense laws. They want to replace environmental regulations, not just get rid of them, excluding effluent water takes. So there, look, like we've said, you need to be somewhat sensible with environmental regulation and make sure that you aren't polluting the waterways. So that's fairly sensible. Like get rid of all the like green tape, as some people call it, while keeping some sensible stuff in there that makes sense. What else do we got? Increase local monitoring to increase water quality. So yeah, that's all pretty good. Yeah, so I sort of agree with this. This all makes sense. Withdraw New Zealand from the trading scheme, repeal the Climate Change Act, all that stuff, all good stuff right here. What else will they do? Yeah, stop tree plantations and carbon credits. Again, you're ruining the soil with these pine tree plantations, and it's really silly, but it's just the way we do it. And new taxes on food, improve environmental quality. I mean, yeah, this is pretty good. I agree with that. Agree with democracy on that. Makes sense. Keep communities safe, better frontline policing. So what will they do? Reallocate police with more frontline staff. Yeah, adds up. Look for police to develop a strategy and retain experienced staff. With that, you're going to have to like increase wages and make sure there's less turnover.
Yep.
Oh, you're back. Have
Yeah. Sorry about that. That was kind of
uh,
unfortunate.
I
People
sort.
just got
Oh,
what?
sorry. You go.
No, no, no. It's. I was kind of debating whether I should take it or not, but anyway, I'm
If it's
back. That's all.
important, take it. I sort of went over the last of the loyal policies. Do you have any thoughts on loyal? I sort of moved on to democracy. So,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's good that they are taking a different stance of a lot of things. They're mentioning things that are important that aren't being
like
mentioned by other
this,
parties.
like
Let's see.
gender
Corrupt charge.
ideology.
I'm glad they're taking a stand on that and they're putting that forward because that is a very serious thing that is happening right now, and it is a very evil thing. And if we allow this to happen, then spiritually, you know, I mean, all things are informed spiritually
Yeah.
in this world. So if we allow this, then we can just say goodbye to New Zealand's altogether. So the fact that Luxon and our Hipkins and everybody else haven't said anything about this really just goes to show how evil they are. These are not good people by any measure, and of course we know all the other stuff that they do. And
Well, ACT and National haven't said anything about gender ideology. NZ First had some in there about not letting, like, trannies in women's sport and stuff like that,
mm,
and,
mm,
trannies into women's bathrooms. But they didn't, I don't think they mentioned whether they were going to stop the gender ideology in school, New Zealand First. So, which is like
yeah,
the key root of it. It's the root of the problem. I mean, you have the problems like, trannies in sports and trannies in women's bathrooms, but
mm,
it starts from, the globalist, communist,
mm.
libtard education system that plants these ideas in people's heads that actually men are women and all that sort of
Mm.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah. It's totally ridiculous, but they're very serious about pushing it and very serious about having it established in New Zealand and all over the world. And that just cannot. We just can't allow that to happen to our kids. And in fact, I would say if you have kids or if you have nephews or nieces, talk to their parents and have a good think about it yourself if you have kids and try and pull your kids out of the schools. Try have a conversation with your teachers if you know them. Try and talk to your school boards. Talk to other parents and your other friends and try to talk to them about, maybe having a school board meeting and saying,
Yeah.
we don't want this crap, but do everything you can to protect your kids, man, because it is vicious. Like it is.
Ideally, you shouldn't be sending your kids to public schools. So
Even when I was in school, like that, they were, yeah. Ideally, you should just pull them out and rear them yourself, and there are a lot of benefits. It's been shown to actually,
well, I mean, your kids are smarter, they're better socialized, and they don't have
yeah,
to listen to a bunch of communists.
yeah,
Uh,
right, right. They're actually better. It's actually a very unnatural environment,
yeah,
cramming kids
yeah,
into
absolutely. It's
a
like treating them like
factory kind of.
livestock. So
Yeah, like livestock. I like the idea of Rudolf Steiner schools. That's quite cool.
community
How that.
schools are good. Like the
Mm,
local church, a lot of them have schools. So send it like that's all
yeah.
fine, or homeschool your kids, or find a
Mm.
community school of like based people.
Yeah, even set up your own school. Even get
Yeah,
a
no,
church
I
or.
know people that have done that, and
Mm. Oh,
yeah,
there you go. Just get a bunch of church going. If the parents are kind of liberal and whatever, I mean, if they are liberal parents, you should put this in their faces anyway.
yeah,
Because I don't want this to happen to any kid. Like it is, even when I was in school, I remember them saying, oh, it's okay to be gay, it's fine.
yeah. We all got the same thing.
That's creepy. That's really, and yeah, they're just, it's disgusting what they teach in school. So I would really take, your kids are under attack. Let me say that again. Your kids are under attack. You need to look after them. They're in a very fragile part of their life. Please protect your kids. And we should all be praying for the children of New Zealand and of the world right now, because so many of these people in power just do not give a stuff at all, apparently. And these are and did what was it, Hector Luxon said, oh, I don't mind, trainees teaching children,
Yeah, it's like no, you
you remember
should.
that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's like, these people, like, over a third of the time, statistically, end up being child molesters and, like, sexual offenders. So it's like, this is what they wanna try and do in the United States, they wanna try and do to the rest of the world, and therefore they wanna do in New Zealand. So everybody's gotta get really real about that and really get it through their heads, and really think about, we've given you a bunch of options. Time, if you have kids, or you have a brother or sister who has children, or you have friends, start having a conversation, because they are going for your
yeah,
children, and
absolutely.
this is how they try and propagate their disgusting ideology. So it's their satanic ideas.
Yeah,
So
well, it's like they said, reproduce by abuse.
sorry, what?
Homosexuals, they reproduce via abuse.
Reproduce by abuse. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's exactly it. It's the most evil thing. So we ought to just all pray for the children of New Zealand, and pray for everybody that their eyes are opened and that their minds are awake, because this is just so incredibly evil and disgusting. And I really like that Loyal is making a
yeah.
big stuff about this.
Sort of
Yeah.
disappointing that New Zealand First didn't talk about. They sort of they went over some like surface level issues, but didn't really go to like, oh, we're going to stop all gender ideology stuff in
Mm.
schools. While the ACT Party doesn't care and the National Party don't care either.
Yeah, yeah. No, they don't. Nobody should really be voting for. I want to see, at least over time, the years to come, like a siphoning off from these parties into parties like Loyal or Freedom.
Yeah,
So,
freedom
you
or
know,
democracy. Actually, you weren't here, but I read the democracy's farming page. You know how we're saying there needs to be some regulation with water quality?
mm,
Democracy actually says that exactly. Get rid of all the like green tape, while obviously having some, sensible regulation in place so
mm.
that the water quality stays good. So I was like, oh
Oh
yeah,
well,
that's actually quite good.
yeah, that's good. That's good. So yeah, yeah, that's good. We have people thinking about that. I just hope that there's a way that all these parties can actually
Hopefully
group
next time.
together.
Hopefully next time there's like a freedom, loyal democracy
Coalition.
coalition, and they
Yeah.
good chance they could actually probably get in then.
Mm. This is interesting. Stamp out excessive money printing, which leads to the debasement of currency
Yeah,
and
I
inevitably
went into that
hyperinflation.
when you weren't here. I was talking about fractional reserve banking. If you want to get rid of that, you're going to have to reform the banking system from our current one. So
Mm. That's interesting that they should. I think they're the only one that says that. So that's really really
some
good.
say, yeah, some say, oh, we're going to investigate, the central bank of New Zealand. So it's
Mm.
like, yeah, oh, Reserve Bank of New Zealand. Sorry, it's like, yeah, that's good, but
Mm.
we live in a system of fractional reserve banking. So you need to reform. You need to reform the entire banking system, investigate all of them.
Totally, totally. Yeah, yeah. Amen. And that really is the root of a lot of this evil as well. I
Oh,
mean,
absolutely.
yeah, that they hit you in your wallet, and where they carry out a lot of this crap to disempower and impoverish people, and then they hit you with trannies where they confuse people, and yeah, it's not good. We did, these parties need to do, we really need to give parties like this our support. Um, Anywho, what have we got here? Ag
Democracy. I sort of already
democracy.
went over the agriculture policy when you weren't here. It was yeah, it was actually not too bad. Get rid of the
Mm,
climate change nonsense while trying to maintain a good level of water quality. So
mm,
actual real good stuff there.
mm,
What was
mm,
this? Democracy, safer communities. Do you want to read
mm.
some because I've sort
Sure.
of started getting a sore throat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's all good. Okay, cool.
Can you read
So,
that? Do you want me to zoom in a bit? There you go.
I can read. Oh,
Oh,
if
okay,
yeah,
sweet.
sweet as. So just scroll for me. We will reallocate funding within the police to allocate more staff and resources to support frontline police work. Work with police to develop a strategy to attract and retain experienced staff in frontline work. Ensure that frontline police focus on their core business, which is reducing crime.
Yeah.
Work with police, businesses, and security providers to stop ram raids and prosecute those involved. So yeah, this is all just kind of pretty basic stuff, really.
Yeah, all
This
common
this should
sense
be a
stuff,
given.
really. Yeah,
Yeah.
it should be a given, but unfortunately, we live in a society where it isn't.
Yeah. So this is this just should be. It's crazy that he has to really state this, but that's where we're at nowadays. So we will ensure there is increased funding for organized crime minute units to reduce crime levels. So should I read this whole thing or just the we will?
Just maybe go over some of the we will stuff. We don't need to read the
Okay.
entire document.
Yeah, ensure that organized crime becomes a major police focus and provide police with the resources to significantly reduce organized criminal activity. Work across government agencies to target illegal activity, for example, through IRD and customs. That's kind of interesting. Through IRD and customs.
Yeah, so make sure you just follow their bank accounts and whatnot. I don't know why they don't do that already. It's like,
Yeah. That's yeah, okay. Develop new tools if needed, legislation to make it easier for police to target and dismantle criminal
yeah.
networks. Yep,
I mean, this
good.
is
That
all good. It's sort of,
yeah.
I'll say it at the end, but I sort of have a bit of an idea formulating. But
Mm. Yeah,
yeah, that
well
sort of makes sense.
we need actually people to actually not just let these gangs run rampant across New Zealand just causing havoc. We actually need to break these things apart because they don't do anything. They just harm society. Any case, yeah, review submissions made on changes to firearms legislation to consider
Yeah,
community views.
yeah,
Yep,
that's good.
because
Well,
the average user.
do they actually want
Mm,
to repeal the firearms changes like that? So they
oh,
want to get rid of the register, but do they want to get rid of the changes they made? And the Labor and New Zealand First and National all voted for to remove gun rights for the average New Zealander. Like,
mm,
I don't
mm.
think they say they want to reform it, but they want to get rid of the register, which I guess is a start. But they sort of need to go further, to be fair.
Yeah, I think that's good.
It's a
That
good
that's
start, yeah.
definitely a very good start, actually. Who wants to be on a list where the government is constantly? And look, the average New Zealander is a good person. They're not going to use their weapons to harm.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh, yeah,
I
so
mean, yeah, I mean, they got rid of guns and crimes is up. I still think
yeah,
it's funny
that's
going back
silly.
to the Labor Party one. Oh,
Yeah,
we solved crime because we got rid of everyone's guns. So
yeah,
that's how good we are on crime. It's like ridiculous.
retarded. Yeah, yeah. We will push. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry.
No, no, do you want me to read that? We'll
The coward punch, yeah, sort of like assaulting people. So, if you
oh,
shoot,
King Punch, yeah.
yeah,
That's yeah, that okay, that doesn't need to be mentioned. That's yeah. Um we will require full public disclosure of any criminal convictions of all political candidates in local and central government. Yep,
that's all right.
that's
That makes
yeah,
sense.
it's a given. That
Yeah, I
sense.
think
Yeah.
this is a fairly sensible policy.
Mm,
Could probably go further, but it's all right.
yeah. That's yeah, a lot of this is just like, yep,
Oh,
cool. Can
nothing I'd
it's
necessarily
reasonable.
disagree with there. So what's this? Bill of Rights? Oh, this is to set up like a constitution of New Zealand.
Oh,
Uh,
okay, that's interesting. So, democracy sees the New Zealand Bill of Rights as a key protection for New Zealanders' basic rights and freedoms. We will uphold and preserve the rights protected by the Bill of Rights by refusing to support legislation that overrides the principles of the Act. We will act as the conscience of Parliament to uphold ordinary Kiwis' rights, and we will not allow them to be overridden by the government. If we are elected to form part of government, we will begin developing constitutional amendments to solidify the rights set out in the Bill of Rights so that future governments will need to abide by the provisions of the Act. Alongside these changes, Democracy NZ will also work to outlaw vaccination mandates and repeal key recent restrictions introduced by the Labour government which infringe on Kiwis' fundamental rights and freedoms. We
so
will
that's good.
also
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. That's great. That's really great to hear.
I'm
That's exactly what I want to hear.
just, maybe we'll just sort of skip down a bit because we don't want to read this whole document.
But this is a good document, and I think
Yeah,
everybody.
everyone should read these in their own time because these are the NZ democracy's policies seem actually quite good. I'm
Yeah,
actually fairly impressed.
Yeah, I'm impressed with them too. That they haven't been mentioned a lot, but I think they and the guy seems like a good guy as well, and he seems like he's got a really good team. Even if you're not going to vote for them, you people have to make your own mind up about that. I would take a bit of time out of your day and read their website and read this document in particular, which is the Bill of Rights policy. Election 2023 PDF document, and I would just read this because stuff like this is good for you to know because guess what? You're a New Zealander, okay? You have rights, okay? You are a human with dignity. You live in the Western world, and that means the government or any corporation or anyone can't, push you around and tell you what to do with your body or
Yeah, stuff like
anything
here,
like.
make it
Yeah,
illegal for employers in the public and private sector to mandate their vaccinations be part of employment. So
yeah,
that's good stuff right there.
exactly.
Just to scroll through a bit, end of co-governance and race-based policies, including 5 waters. Yeah, that's right. They changed it from 3 waters to 5 waters.
The
Uphold the
more
one
waters,
person,
the
one vote.
worse.
Yeah, I mean, this is all good stuff. I sort of agree with all this.
Yeah, so it's a good document to sort of educate yourself with because we all need people to start thinking. You know, we are people with a mandate from our ancestors. We have a heritage, and that is our rights as people with dignity. You know, so I would encourage everybody to read this Democracy NZ Health Policy PDF. I think
Yeah,
it's
end vaccination mandates and stop vaccination rollouts. That's pretty good.
mm,
So, like inquiry into COVID-19, that's all good stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Improve basic health and get rid of race-based services, as it says here.
Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, race-based medical quotas.
Mm,
Yeah, and here, look, increase fast-track workers in areas of like medical, dental, and whatnot. So help. Oh wait, no. They also want to get their ones from overseas. So they copy that from New Zealand first. Uh, Although the democracy unfortunately doesn't say whether they actually want them from the UK and Australia and whatnot. So
yeah.
that is sort of disappointing. It's disappointing to see that stuff. And if they are, at least like say they only want them from the UK and not like India or the Philippines.
Yeah. At least it looks like they want to increase the number of qualified nurses here.
Yeah, they do want to increase the number of medical school places and qualified nurses. So that all makes sense. That's
Mm,
all good stuff.
which
But
is at least there's that. But yeah, it's yeah, 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 yeah. So that's good.
yeah, that's all
Um,
fine. local medical autonomy. That's still good stuff.
Mm, mm. Yeah, and a lot of this is in reaction to just how terrible the government has been, and not just Labour. It's been National and all the rest as well supporting this. So
Yeah,
it's our whole, it's all the main parties that need to be held accountable.
evaluate whether you want to be in these NGOs like the WHO. I mean, ideally, you should just leave it. I don't really think you need much more of an evaluation, to
Yeah,
be
no,
fair.
yeah, just leave. We just need to leave.
Pause the use of GMO and
That's good.
RMA in products, so that's all good stuff. And livestock, yep, good stuff there. I don't think
Mm,
anyone else has talked about that, so that's a good one.
mm, yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, you got nationals saying they want more of it, but at least you have democracy saying they want less of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, as we don't understand their long-term health effect. Well, we actually do, but well, actually, no, we don't. No, they're right. We don't. There's still so much we don't understand, so it's pretty freaky. I mean,
Review.
they had like a 10-page document from Pfizer documenting all the new diseases that had come out that were really weird.
This
So,
is a good one as well. Review all ACC decisions on vaccine injuries because the ACC would just lie. They'll go, "Oh, it's not the vaccine that
mm,
made you that gave you myocarditis. It was COVID." It's like,
mm,
yeah, I think that's sort of nonsense.
yeah, yeah. Oh, what else could it be? Yeah, I'm like a perfectly healthy runner, or
Yeah,
yeah, that's yeah. So yeah, direct Crown law to investigate obtaining compensation from COVID-19 vaccine
yeah,
manufacturers and
yeah. That
assess
sounds good.
whether. Yeah, yeah. No, this is good stuff. Yeah, people should read this document as well. I
There's
like
the
how.
quick rundown.
Yeah, yeah. I like how he addresses all of this stuff. It's a very simple to the point kind of
All right.
yeah,
I think we'll just
direction.
go over the maybe a quick. Maybe I'll just go to the bottom and see what his points are because he has like a quick rundown because we're sort of going way over time. To be
Yeah,
fair.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, thanks for you all who are watching us. Thanks for sticking it out with us.
Yeah,
You guys are awesome. We
and those
hope
that are
you
watching the
continue.
replay as well. Oh, sorry, you go.
Yeah. Yeah, those who are watching the replay as well. Yeah, thanks for you can put us on 1.75 speed or whatever. But yeah, yeah. But no, good on you guys. Car pie, as they say. But I don't know if that's gay. But anyway, our economic policy for all New Zealanders, we will make addressing the cost of living crisis our top priority, make it easier to develop new housing to allow more Kiwis to own their own home, focus on reducing government regulation, and establish an environment which allows businesses to prosper and create jobs.
Yeah,
Invest in core infrastructure to support productivity and growth and keep New Zealand moving. That's good. Support strategic initiatives to build our energy independence so energy remains affordable for households and
yeah.
businesses.
Energy
Mm,
prices are actually ridiculous in this country, so that is
mm,
actually a good point that no one else has really brought up. So that's a good one.
yeah, totally. Grow our export sector so we can continue to afford imports.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good angle again. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody else brought that up as well. These are kind of like common sense, down to earth policies, or points to a policy.
Although it looks like they might
Um,
be pro marijuana. I mean, I don't
yeah.
necessarily agree with that, but
Mm.
it's not a deal breaker.
If it's medical marijuana, there is studies to show that it can, help people with certain things. Ideally, you would use other methods to, help if someone had cancer or something like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, it's
Yeah, no,
mm,
I'm just skimming through it. Reopening the Masterton Point. Yeah, that's great. At least they're talking about it. NZ First also talked about it.
mm.
What else do we got? Fund roads and infrastructure and management of the water networks. Yeah, that's all good stuff.
Oh,
Local.
that's good. Look at that. Not support major loans from BlackRock. That's
Oh,
huge.
that's a big one. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that's actually a really big one because I mean,
Good
you
stuff.
you look at China and BlackRock are basically the same entity. There's a huge
Two
amount of
sides of the same coin, or different sides of the same coin, really.
yeah. Well, actually, BlackRock basically owns China.
Hmm.
Maybe not a lot of people. I actually meant to send you those links, Hector, on how BlackRock, or maybe we can go through it on a separate podcast.
But maybe
Uh,
after the election, but we're sort of going to be busy for the next 2 weeks. So
oh, true.
we'll have a
Yeah.
lot to
Okay.
catch up on, to be fair.
yeah. Well, yeah, we'll sort that out later. But yeah, basically,
Oh, sweet.
BlackRock owns China, and they are building China up, especially investing in their military. So that's huge. That's really good that they stake that out.
Oh, yo, this one's based. Change the
Mm,
GST register. Yo, as a small
okay.
business owner, that one's based because I won't have to
Mm,
pay GST for longer.
damn, I might have to start a business.
That one's based, bros.
Yeah,
And tax
yeah.
credits for the first year of business. I mean, too late for me, but going forward, that sounds pretty good.
No, that'll be great. I mean, businesses have been so poorly treated. They've been hammered hard. So
Yeah, especially
that's good.
small businesses. Oh,
Yeah,
like sole
yeah.
traders and whatnot.
Mm.
Um, yeah, this is all good. Review the contract for the Kiwi Savers. Yeah, all good. I'm just having a quick browse because we've been going for ages.
Mm.
I mean, at least they're not saying they want to import more like migrants. Like when they go, oh, we're going to build more houses by importing more migrants. At least they're not saying that.
Yeah, no, that's good.
And I don't
That's
think
good.
they've had any policies, at least that I've seen so far, that are pro mass migration. So that's good.
Mm.
Stuff about the bank.
That's
Interest. Oh, that's what's a good one. Interest-free tax bracket. I think New Zealand definitely does need a tax-free income bracket, just like Australia.
mm. Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, it would be cool if we could be more like Australia in terms of
Australia has a
its.
way better tax system than we do.
Oh
It's
man,
ridiculous.
I understand why so many New Zealanders go over to Australia because it's just so much more.
You pay so
Like,
less tax. It's
oh
crazy. You get more of your
yeah,
money. The government's stealing less of your money. I mean, I'm not a libertarian. I know, yeah, it's like the government needs to exist for a functional society in like our post-industrial age, but it's like we just give way too much money for nothing.
yeah. Well, exactly. I mean, it's way over bloated. So yeah, that it's gone. I mean, I would. To be honest, I prefer to be a bit more of a libertarian myself at this current point of
Fair enough.
time. Seriously, I would. It's too much, man. It's too hard. Who can survive in this climate, you know? So I understand why so many Kiwis go over to Australia. I mean, I've even thought of going over to Aussie myself.
I think a lot of
Um,
us have, to be fair. I think
yeah, yeah,
every
yeah,
single Kiwi white working man in this country is like, mate, things are just getting worse and worse here. Maybe we should just go to Aussie.
yeah, pretty much. Australia, the home of the white man.
Well, hopefully. I mean, not if they keep up their current immigration system. They're just
Aren't
importing, it's
aren't
like,
there demographics? Oh, sorry.
Australia's importing something like 600,000 Indians this year. Like, it's ridiculous.
Oh,
Joel Davis
fuck.
goes over it. So
That's oh, okay. That's not.
it's
I
actually
don't know.
ridiculous the amount of mass migration that goes on in Australia.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty crazy, man. Well, good luck, Aussie bros.
Maybe
That's
it won't be a paradise for much longer if you need to support that many Pajeets, but
yeah.
well, that's
Uh,
globalism for you. It's a downward spiral, but there you go.
yeah, really need our Aussie bros to get into government and change this shit around
Yeah,
and
hopefully.
become rich and influential, and those who are rich support the Aussie bros in government from turning the immigration policy around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm just going to the education one. Stop any gender or iwi stuff within schools, so that's good.
Mm,
Encourage critical thinking, yeah, that's good.
that's
Review
good.
review NCA. NCA is like complete crap, so it does need to be replaced, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, literacy skills. I mean, this is just basic stuff. It's like, how is this even like, this is just a given. So it's funny that you actually have to
Mm.
mention this. Oh, we need good literacy. It's like, no, we need to learn about the Maoris, bro. We need to learn about the Skywalkers, cuzzy.
We need to learn about the grip strength before the Maori
Yeah,
turned full. Yeah.
yeah, when they were 9 foot tall before the Europeans made them small. Get rid of all gender ideology and sexual orientation within the curriculum. Yep, good
Mm,
stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, I mean, I quite like what I've seen from Democracy New Zealand. I think
mm,
that's
mm.
probably it for them. Do we want to do a quick one of maybe we'll just skip top. Does anyone really want to hear about the Opportunities Party?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that it's
I
just
mean, the leader's in the Pajit, so maybe that just says enough.
yeah, yeah, they yeah. So number one, he's a Brigitte, but also like he's into CBDCs, and
Oh, really?
yeah, he's basically for the government releasing like yeah CBDCs and what else? It's like some other really weird stuff. It wouldn't be stuff that our people are interested, but are interested in.
All right,
Like
let's do a quick skim. Tax-free
yeah,
threshold.
okay.
I mean, that's all right. Free healthcare for young people. I mean, isn't healthcare already free? To be
Mm.
fair.
Mm.
Climate change. So climate change nonsense. Affordable housing. I mean, again, good luck trying to tackle affordable housing without tackling mass migration.
Mm.
The Christchurch plan. I know what that is.
Yeah.
Health, whatever. Economy. Yeah. Oh, wait, migration. Let's see what they say about migration.
Oh,
It's good
yeah,
to have a
that'll be
look.
interesting.
Migration, stamp out worker exploitation, reduce. Oh, so they want to reduce the salary band so they get more migrants in. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
not do that.
This is basically like a shit lib party,
Yeah, let's
but
not
yeah.
let's not reduce the salary bands
Mm, mm,
to
mm.
recruit on behalf of local companies. Yeah, let's. This is like a pro mass migration, like
Yeah,
ridiculously pro. If they want to
yeah,
get rid of
okay.
if they want to set up talent agencies to like import as much Bajeets as possible.
Basically, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So, yeah, but you
let's not
don't
vote top. That's pretty much all you need to know.
yeah, 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 we don't need to go over this. Don't vote top, yeah, and I don't think our guys will be
I doubt
looking
it.
at that yeah, it's basically like a real shit lib party with yeah globalist policies actually. So
All right,
yeah,
let's have a
it's
quick look at the new Conservative Party. I mean, last election, the new Conservative Party was like obviously bought out by the Israelis because they like one of their only foreign policies was recognizing the annexation of the West Bank and moving the capital, recognizing the capital as Jerusalem instead of Tel Aviv. And what was it? And recognizing the International Holocaust Remembrance Association's definition of anti-Semitism, where saying anything remotely negative about Israel or Jews counts as like illegal hate speech. So that was sort of sus.
and this is in New Zealand for crying out loud.
That was
The
the New
hell?
Conservatives last time, but this time, yeah, income-free tax bracket, that's good. Child tax credits, yeah, that's pretty good. Agree with that. Of course, they're going to be against the gender stuff. That's all great.
Hmm.
Yeah, education. Get rid of commies in schools. Yep, sweet. Law and order. Yeah, you can tell I'm sort of starting to get to the end of it.
Mm, mm.
I can't talk.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, have a glass of water, man. Oh, okay. Don't die, Hector.
I'm good.
Okay. Yeah. So they basically, from what we can see, it's good. Their right to life is good. I'm glad to see that. Uh, uh, okay. Yeah. So I mean, I guess just to sum up, guys, the main parties that we're kind of looking at, or that we think will be good, are NZ Loyal, Freedoms NZ, and Democracy NZ. These parties, I think, will be the best to vote for. Some of you may be interested in NZ first, but consider some of the things that the aforementioned parties we've mentioned. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's all right, man. We should probably wrap it up, but yeah, we'll wrap it up right now, Hector. Um, yeah, okay. Yeah. Mm, mm, mm. Well, yeah, it's still for me. It's still a bit of a toss up between loyal freedoms and democracy. Um, yeah, to be completely honest with you, I'm not totally sure. I want some time to kind of think about it, but it'll likely be one of these three parties. You know, I'll see. Yeah, I'm probably just a bit too like I like a lot of the stuff I like what Winston does on gangs because I just I hate all the yeah, yeah. Mm, yeah, that's great. I love that. I love that kind of really right wing kind of just sort them out. Bunch them all up like a bunch of cattle, and I love that. I saw those videos from El Salvador. That's how you do it. That's how you treat these animals. Um, but so that uh, but I'm just a bit iffy on it. I've yeah, I feel like the other parties also kick up a big fuss about the vaccination stuff and a lot of the stuff on freedoms and gender, and they also are pretty good on crime. So I feel like they're really just a bit more are concentrating on the things that actually matter. Um, oh yeah. Mm, mm, mm.
I'm muted. Some guy in chat just said I was muted. Whoops.
Oh,
I've
whoops.
been talking to no one this whole time. Whoops.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Okay,
jeez.
I'll just repeat myself slightly there. Gil could hear me, but for some reason OBS couldn't.
Oh,
Um,
weird.
uh, uh, I'll
So
just restart there. So I'm basically asking who Gil endorses.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, you were saying,
And New
you,
Zealand First can't really be trusted because, like, Winston let us down in 2017. He didn't really do much on a lot of things he promised against, like migration, which was the big one, and cost of living. And he sort of cucked out on stuff like COVID and gun laws.
mm,
So I don't know. I just
yeah,
don't know if New Zealand First can be trusted.
yeah. Well, it's a good question because who represents the authentic right now, the authentic right wing, and where is that going to come from? Where is a
Hmm.
genuine, maybe not revival, but a genuine kind of birth of a right wing party in New Zealand? Where is that going to happen? And is that NZ First or is it one of these parties? I don't really know. It definitely seems like these, the right wing is being stifled by being separated amongst all these groups. And yeah, I'm not sure actually.
Yeah,
I would say for all our viewers, look at all three of these parties,
yeah,
carefully analyze them, and see who you think yeah, see what matters to you. See where you know th- whether you think they really get it. Probably. I would look at maybe either Freedoms NZ or Democracy. But then again, Brian Tamaki does have his migration policies pretty bad.
yeah.
So
It's for that reason. I mean, I was leaning freedoms before, but I just like that policy about farm labor is just so bad. I think
mm,
I'm gonna switch my endorsement from freedom probably to like democracy NZ. To be fair,
yeah, I think I might actually do the same. I may actually do the
loyal's good
same.
as well. I mean, freedom's not that bad, but that immigration policy, something like you can't be doing that. I mean, come on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a shame. It's a great shame, isn't it? And that one really stands out. Otherwise, everything else is pretty sweet. Um, yeah, Loyal NZ is a great one. I just don't know if I don't think Look, I'm not trying to be an ass. I
Also,
don't know.
also a good
It
thing with democracy, it's led by a white male.
Yes, yeah, yeah, basically. And he seems like a good guy, and he seems like he's an outsider, seems like a good guy. He's saying everything that matters. And yeah, it seems like a real Kiwi a real good Kiwi man,
Oh,
you know.
sorry,
So,
I just realized we got a whole bunch of chats on YouTube. I was just reading the Rumble
oh,
chats.
okay, let's read the chats.
The loyal policy on immigration, I don't see it on their policies list. A lot of people aren't talking about migration these days. They're smaller than the other Polynesians because they reverted to the hunter-gatherer society until they killed off the moa. Well, there you go. Says greatest ally Israel. Can't hear you guys at all. Muted. NZ Loyal wants an immigration memorandum and gun self-defense rights, but they're lacking when it comes to cracking down on criminals. Honestly, actually, I think I was muted. New Zealand First honestly has the best policy on criminals. Like, just lock them all up and put them in a gang prison for like 20
mm,
years and treat them as terrorists. Like, it's
yeah,
pretty based,
yeah, that's
to be
how it
fair.
needs to be done. Yeah, yeah, none of this, yeah, airy fairy crap. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Sorry about that,
definitely.
yo. I accidentally muted myself. But yeah, I basically said I'd say I probably endorse democracy,
Mm.
because it's led by a white male. So, and
Yeah.
also their policies seem pretty good. So I'd say that gets my endorsement.
Mm,
Loyal's pretty
yeah.
good as well. Hopefully in the future they sort of link up and work together, maybe next election.
Mm, mm,
So, yeah, no, that's it. I mean, I hope you guys learnt something. We went over most of the parties. The ones we didn't go over were like Zeal, New Zealand, the new, what is it, the New Nation Party. I'm sure they're both
mm,
fine, but it's like maybe let's focus on the other, three right-wing parties instead of the even smaller ones. And
yeah, yeah. I
so,
mean, yeah.
yeah, I'd say, yeah, democracy's got my endorsement. Very likely I'm going to vote for them. New
Mm.
Zealand First actually does say a lot of good stuff on their policies, but it's New Zealand First, so I'm not sure if you can really trust them.
Yeah, well, even if you could trust them, like how hard are they gonna fight? Is what I
Yeah,
mean. What can they leverage? Even in like it looks like they may be gaining more in this
they seem
election more so than other in other election
I
cycles.
think they're going
But
to do pretty good. Like they seem to be going up in the polls. I wouldn't be surprised if New Zealand First gets like 8 or 9% this election. Maybe
yeah,
that's a bit high, but I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility.
yeah. Well, we also got to consider that complaint that Winnie was saying, where he was talking about there's some criticizing the voting system. Should we put that back up if I send it to you? Do you want to look at that tweet that?
Uh,
No,
yeah,
okay.
no, send it,
I'll
send it.
send it to you. Okay, I've sent it via our chat, and
Yeah. Also, just going forward, because I don't think we said this earlier, when you look at parties, obviously, like the most important thing you should look at should be stance on crime, stance on the climate agenda, mass migration, free speech, and like COVID lockdown and mandates. Like
yeah, that's yeah.
stuff like taxes, yeah, it's fun to go, oh, we need lower taxes, but at the moment, like that's not
Yeah,
really going to change. So
unfortunately,
let's focus
no,
on other things.
yeah, nobody's really saying it. Yeah, so just to repeat what Hector said, that's crime,
All right, you read
climate.
it. My throat's dead, so it's up to you to read this
Yeah,
tweet.
get some more or get some juice or something.
Yeah, I might have to get
Some
some.
fuck, sorry, man. You sounded like Alex Jones right now. We're gonna turn him into Alex
Yeah,
Jones.
I'm gonna become that raspy by the end of it if we do another 3 hour stream.
Oh, bro, I feel bad, man. I should have been saying more. Get me to say more next time. I don't want to, yeah. But so yeah, when you're looking at this stuff, consider you know the stance on crime, climate agenda, mass migration or immigration, free speech, and freedoms in general, the Bill of Rights, and COVID lockdowns and vaccines. That's sort of how you want to, the heuristic in which you want to sort of judge how good a party is in terms of
And
topics.
for frick's sake, guys, don't vote like ACT, National, Green, or
Oh,
Green,
please.
or like Labour.
We,
Like, come
we've
on.
just yeah, no, Hector is really right about that, guys. We've gone through ACT and we've seen how they've cucked out on a lot of things. That they're not even willing to supply the gun rights stuff. So look, just keep your I mean, do we really trust Seymour? Like he's basically another Luxon at this point.
Yeah.
Just
I mean,
try. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, if you absolutely must vote for a party that's, is going to get into Parliament, then vote New Zealand First. Otherwise, I would say vote like Democracy or Loyal. That's what I
Mm.
say.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Absolutely. Or
All
Yeah,
right,
no, no, absolutely.
all right.
I agree with that. Yeah, the mass migration, but like loyal, basically the loyal party is basically freedom's party, but without the mass migration.
Yeah.
So that's I agree with that sort of dichotomy of either loyal or democracy NZ, and because it's led by a white male, and yeah, I mean she's a nice lady.
Yeah, she seems nice, but it's
She
like,
seems nice, but we know we've had Georgia Maloney's.
so I mean, has
We
there ever
know.
been a good woman leader in history? It's like, come on.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, so I mean, sorry if we have. I don't think we have any woman in the chat,
Oh,
but
I'm sure most women would sort of agree with that. I mean, when was the last good female leader, like, ever? They're
yeah,
pretty rare.
yeah, exactly. So women just aren't cut out for it. I'm afraid that yeah, they just need to be like just birthing machines, basically, just producing an endless stream of babies
If
non-stop.
Loyal was led by a man, it would be an easy choice. Yeah, I agree, yo. I agree. I mean, actually, democracy's all right, but Loyal seems pretty good too, to be fair.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So I think I might go for democracy myself, but yeah, we'll see. So I mean, yeah, it's basically yeah, don't vote for ACT. Obviously, you're not going to vote for any of the gay parties, but don't vote for ACT because and try to convince others if you know they're voting for ACT. Try and convince them not
At
to do
least
that.
try get them to vote New Zealand first or something. If
Yeah, even honestly, even that would be better. If you can get them to vote for NZ first, that would be fine. But if you could get them to vote for Democracy NZ or
or Loyal
yeah,
or something, yeah,
because he's really Oh, but here I'll
yeah. Read.
read this from Winston Peters. So this is from Winston Peters' X account. And he says, it is an outrageous attack on the right to vote in our democracy that hundreds of rural voting booths are being closed or restricted on election day.
Wait,
Booths
really? I
being,
didn't even know this. That's messed
yeah,
up.
no, yeah, I this is news to me. And he said this yesterday, October 6th, at 7:13 p.m. So he continues, he says, booths being closed, stopping people from having access to vote on October 14 should see the chief electoral officer sacked immediately. Before the Prime Minister goes in 8 days' time, he should explain why he allowed this to happen. The Electoral Commission's single job is to ensure a fair election. So, what are they doing for their bloated salaries? So, that's a really good point. Yeah. I mean, what I didn't hear, but the mainstream media certainly isn't talking about this and on the television. So,
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
pretty messed up.
what's,
And like,
yeah,
how's that even? It's like, yeah, that's not fair at all, really. That's sort of messed.
yeah.
That's bad.
Kind of,
It's like
mm,
election fraud, basically.
yeah, well, yeah,
Systematic election fraud.
well, just like in what happened in the U.S., right, with Trump being robbed of
Hmm.
his election. So I mean, yeah, what's I mean, in a way, it kind of doesn't surprise me that they would like. I'm sort of surprised, but not surprised. Like, they're
Yeah.
pulling this because they you.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, it just says a chat that says, when are you guys going to form a real nationalist party? Maybe eventually, but political parties take a lot of money and energy, which we think at this point in time are better off spent, improving your community, starting your own businesses, building the parallel society. That's a much better use of your time than, starting
Yeah,
like the new nationalist party, or whatever you want to call it, the epic
yeah,
party.
fully agree.
Yeah, so
Fully agree.
you're
Yeah,
better off using that time and money investing in yourself, investing in your business, investing in
yeah.
your community, and build that parallel society than, go, oh, we're going to save New Zealand, and then like get 0.2% of the vote.
Exactly, 100%. Yeah, invest in yourself and invest in your community. And yeah, yeah, I agree fully with what Hector said. And what we want is we want to, instead of a political party, we want to form our own nationalist, dissident, right wing
Society, yeah,
aristocracy,
yeah.
our own elite. And then we can rise up through the socioeconomic hierarchy and through our wealth and our rank or our status, we can influence parties to go a certain way to actually be more nationalist. So that way we can, you know, rein things in more. And we can actually affect positive change in that way. And another thing I'd say, like, you know, yeah, invest in your community to do the same thing. Get your friends to really get an interest in being a lawyer, or
Mm,
what white collar kind of high paying jobs that where you can actually control the way that society flows. Because
yeah,
that's what we really need to do, is get control of the levers of society, and the best way to do that is achieve socioeconomic rank, and
yeah,
acquire a
absolutely.
lot of money. And but yeah, absolutely invest in your own community as well. Have your own group of guys that you hang out with, or associate with,
Yeah,
but become
more to
players.
come on that. More to come on that soon. To be fair.
Yeah, yeah, sorry, yeah, 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 absolutely,
um,
yeah. But
but
that's a good
but
question. But
anyways,
that's how we want to do it. Yeah,
we've been going
yeah.
for nearly 3 hours, so I think we should start wrapping it up. So
Mm,
you heard it here. We went over pretty much all the, I'd say, parties that you really want to factor in. There's a couple other ones we didn't go over,
it
but it's
doesn't
sort of
matter
like,
here.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
sort of gone over the lion's share of it and all the important parties, really. Uh,
Mm, mm.
so I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed it. And next time we're going to be live at about 7 p.m. when they start counting the votes. We'll be counting. We'll be there live as the results come in. I hope you join us. It should be good, and it should be good fun as well. We're going to see how the election turns out next week, and uh, stay informed. I guess I hope this helped you
Yeah.
with your voting decisions. It's coming next week.
Mm. Yeah, make sure you get your friends and your family on board, to join us for that election stream. Share the links. Keep spreading truth amongst your community, your friends, your family. If you have nieces or nephews, take part in their lives and protect them,
Yeah,
and teach them about God, and the Bible, and their rich European heritage. And you know. Try, just be a source of light and truth, and
be men
strength.
amongst the ruins.
Yeah, totally. And just become,
We got
don't
to
become
build.
Andrew Tate. But yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
no, we're building the new elite, as we're saying, and it starts with you. But anyways,
Yeah,
yeah, I think we'll wrap up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys next week for the election live stream. You might be doing call-ins. It should be pretty epic. Yeah, stay blessed, not stressed, and we'll see you next week.
God bless everybody. Take care.
Yeah, take care. Wait, I need to end the stream.